Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 126 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. We're brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on and offline, website design, graphics, Google ads, printing, we can absolutely help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, bbdigitalmarketing.com. You can request a free review of your online presence today. My name is Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt training out of South Florida. We got Bo behind the camera.
Yo.
Well, Christian behind the camera.
Yo.
Bo in the audience, right? Joining us today, we have Tubby and Eric Alequin. They're going to hang out for a second. Let me do some sponsor shout outs here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate the support. So thank you to Sean over at Flow and Roll. I'm not going to do friends over at Fro and Roll anymore. So thank you to Sean over at Flow and Roll. Hands down the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll and check out all their custom designs. They work with academies throughout the country. They have an incredible pre-order program. You can get all your gear, almost like no money out of pocket. They send the stuff right to your students. It's great. Go check them out at flowandroll.com, and you can also get 20% off your online order with code JJD. All right. Thank you to Neutral Zone Clean. We got them all over the studio today, right? We've got all their gear. They're doing some really cool sales on their bundles, so you can get spray, wipes, the body wash, and the regular soaps. You can get all that stuff in a bundle, and you can choose the different scents. Check them out. Go right onto the website, neutralzoneclean.com. And usually when if there's a special, the coupon code might not always work, but the special is for the rest of September. So if you're watching this after September 2023, you can use code JJD to get 15% off your order. Again, neutralzoneclean.com. Leo Optics, you guys are...
Yeah,
you guys are working with Leo Optics as well, right? So I got my shout out with the shades.
Bamboo polarized man.
Right? These are my favorite. I have a bunch now that we're having guests in studio again. Like he gave me to give some away. Yeah. And you're already working with them. So I have a couple of that I'm going to give away in the future. I don't have them here, but I have a couple that I'm going to give away. But very cool, right? Bamboo. You can get the you can get your they'll do the custom your belt, right? So they'll do like blue and brown, and he sent me these. I'm not black belt yet, but he did send me these, so I love them. You can check them out at leooptics.com and use code JJD for 10% off. You got a coupon code too? Give them the coupon code. You can use Tubby. It's okay if you use Tubby's instead of ours. Tubby 10?
Yes,
there you go.
10.
So leooptics.com, check them out. Thank you to BioPro Technology. This is a bioidentical alternative to human growth hormone. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Get big.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. You're going to sound like Vin Diesel. I'm gonna try to look like Vin Diesel. So this is actually this is the one with the Quarter Sleep, right? So this is the one I take at night. I take the other one in the morning. This is a bioidentical alternative to human growth hormone. Again, I'm taking both of them, and it's supposed to help with anti-aging, metabolism, libido, woohoo, immune system, skin, cognition, and then again, the Quarter Sleep is what I'm looking for from that one is sleep and stress, right? So all of this with no needles, no side effects. It's a little vial you take. It's really easy. You put it under your tongue for 90 seconds, and then you swallow. Wow. Yeah.
Does USADA test for it?
No. This is like all natural, over the counter. I actually, when I talked to them, I was like just trying to find like a testosterone replacement. Like I started to use one. He's just like, you could keep on taking whatever you're taking. Take this on top of that. They even preach. So many people are doing TRT now. He's like, you could take this aside from that, and actually it works really well. Like you need human growth hormone, I think, to like process some of the testosterone. So it's like they work really well together. So don't stop what you're taking. You can just add this in. So you got bioproteintech.com, and you get $30 off with coupon code JJD on their regularly priced kits. And what I say is they do a special every once in a while, like $100 off of both of them as a kit. But if you're spending over $295, use code JJD and you get $30 off. All right, that was everything. Cool. Yeah, thank you for being patient, guys. So welcome back, second visit. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
again,
having
Tubby
us.
and Vin Diesel in the studio here. Well, go ahead. Let's get the impression out of the way. You got,
I don't even. The worst part is I don't know any lines.
apparently, you've been. People think you sound like Vin Diesel.
Apparently, sound and look.
A good amount of people.
If I got a fresh low cut.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've actually heard it. Like, actually, people come up to me and say, you know, you sound like, or they come up to me and they're like, you know, he sounds like Vin Diesel, right? He kind of looks like him.
But
And I'm like,
I hear myself.
I think it's the look. Just kind of then goes like, wow, he meant. I don't know. Maybe I feel like it maybe goes together. I don't think he sounds like Vin Diesel because I'm from New York. Vin Diesel's I think from like, isn't it from? Oh, you guys, you're from New York too, right?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm born and raised, man. West Palm Beach.
Oh, you're from here. Okay.
He's definitely got like an accent to him.
Vin Diesel has that New York.
Yeah,
I think he's like from Brooklyn or Queens or something, isn't he? He's got that city, New York.
Yeah,
you know,
accent.
like I think he's probably lost it over time, but in the beginning on his first movies, he had that that whole thing.
Yes.
So I don't get that part from you, but I think that you do look like him a little bit. You know, like
I'll take it.
I don't see or hear
I'll
it.
take it.
So what's going on since the last visit? Last time we did a Zoom. What's been going on? I think probably most notably you actually got to fight in ONE FC for the first time.
Yeah.
Like you were like under contract for a while, but
yeah. So I actually did. Well, we spoke like in the beginning of May, and then I ended up doing a match for Who's Number One, and then I fought 2 months later for ONE championship in Thailand against Tammi.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I did those 2 matches. The one for Who's Number One was awesome. There was a little mix up there with the ONE team when I requested to compete out of contract. So it was a little bit of an issue, but we got through it.
Okay.
And I was able to compete for Who's Number One, which was a great match, honestly. Leading up to it, the training, everything was awesome. I had previously lost to the girl in Worlds the year prior, so December.
Yeah.
So for me to kind of go back there 6 months later and just like dominate was a good feeling.
what was her name? I saw that match. I forget her name.
Alex Enriquez, yeah.
Okay.
And we have like history together, man. I think we've competed against each other prior to that one like 6 times.
I saw you like in pictures online with her, like right? You
dude,
guys
I
know
like
each
her.
other.
Yeah, she's a good sport. And since 2015, we've been going at it.
Yeah.
So that was a good match, good show, great turnout. Everything was awesome. We had a game plan. We stuck to it. We executed everything. It was a good feeling. And then I prepared my camp for Tammi. So I had Tammi Musumeci for ONE. That was a good one too. I prepared for it.
I see in my mind.
Yeah, you're rolling through, right?
You were just like rolling and rolling and
I'll
rolling.
tell you what, I did
Literally.
everything that I practiced in camp, but you know, I feel like it was like I tell him it was almost like karma in a way, because when I fought Alex in May, she was expecting me to play the same game I played back in December, but I had switched up my game plan completely and not relied on the Alex I fought in December, just kind of like expecting the unexpected and just kind of sticking to my game plan and making sure I covered all my grounds. So that's what I did with Tammi, except for it was almost karma because I was expecting her to fight me like how she fought her previous opponent. And then when I went out there, it was completely different. It was not at all like what we practiced, like what we saw her doing. So I was like, man, like it just changed. I should have adapted, you know, but I didn't. So I was like, in a way, it was kind of karma because of what happened with my last match. But overall, it was a good experience, a good match. It was a little bit of a stalemate, but a good experience. Good experience.
So you said our game plan, we prepared. How involved are you with game planning?
I'm all in. I'm watching videos all night.
Especially just like more recently because I've never really prepared for opponents. Even when I've had super fights or tournaments, he's just, you know, been there in the training camps and just like watch me or tell me what to do. We argue, we fight. Like he'll tell me something. I'm in the middle of a row and he's just like, Tubby, stop. Your hips are too high. Lower your hips. And I'm over here like, he's about to bench press me out.
Or she'll hit me with the, can you come over here and show me?
Yeah. I'm like, instead of telling me, can you just show me? Like, instead of just like saying it, I don't know what you want me to do. You know, just a little bickering like that. But more recently, just because, like I said, I never prepared for them. I've never done my homework. I've just gone out there and be like, all right, fuck, we doing this. Let's go. I'm ready. I feel like I'm an overall good grappler. Like, I feel like I'm covered in all areas. But especially for these last 2-3 matches, he's been watching a lot of footage, taking notes, grabbing the guys from the gym, telling them what he wants them to, you know, kind of mimic in place. Exactly. Without me knowing, or I can hear him telling him, like, hey, go for her neck a lot, snap her down, like, go for darces, go for guillotines. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I got to prepare for this. So, like, you know, he's throwing the heat at me, doing his homework, covering all our P's and Q's, and, like, just setting up a game plan, telling me what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. Like, for the Tammi match, one thing that we worked on the whole time was not backstepping from like open guard into like
That
a
was
honey
like
hole.
the cardinal sin.
That was
Don't
like the
backstep.
do not backstep. And literally the last 30 seconds when the ref was like, we need more action, we need submission, we need to go Tammi, Tubby. I freaking just like
Backstep.
going backstep, and she bloop, right inverted to go grab my back. So I was like, God damn it. But for the most part, yeah, he's been more involved more than anything.
Were you over there like,
Yeah.
I was mic'd up too, so I didn't want to.
He's like my Eric Her. You know, you have Danaher. He's my Eric Her.
And I don't even feel like Tammi made some drastic change in her game. It was more so, I think she respected Tubby so much where she played more of a cautious game. So we were looking at her to be more aggressive, and she was more, like I always say, it's hard for you to submit someone who doesn't want to be submitted. You know, like if I go into roll with somebody and the guy's like, I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna be cautious. It's a little difficult, especially in a competition
in a
scenario.
10-minute match, you know. He said 30 seconds. I was like, what? Already 9 minutes have gone by, and I'm like, I'm just getting started.
And you've trained with her as well, right?
You trained with her? At one point, we were training
partner. Were you training partners at the same gym?
Yeah, dude. We would meet up at Jacko when Jacko was Black Zillions. Oh no, when Jacko was Jacko. Yeah. Before they were Black Zillions, because first they were Jacko, then they were Black Zillions, and then they moved to Sanford, and then from Sanford to over. But this is when they were Jacko. We would meet up. I would do George Santiago. Shout out to XL George Santiago. I would do his 6 a.m. class in the morning. And then I would meet up with Tammi I would like sleep on the mats until she showed up like around 8 a.m. We would drill. She would always tell me, get your water now, because we're drilling for an hour straight and there's no breaks. And this girl was like a robot. She changed my mind and my outlook on training jiu-jitsu and how to drill to kill, like, and just basically executing the techniques the way you would want to in competition. And if you train it that way, chances are in competition you're going to execute it just like how you train it. If I do a half-ass lazy arm bar in training, chances are I'm never going to hit a nice, smooth, tight arm bar in competition. Yeah. So drilling with her had like opened up my mind, and I took a lot from just picking her brain. And it was a lot of basic, very, very basic drills, but she was just so robotic with it. There wasn't a mistake made, and there was never a break in between. It was just no talking. I remember sitting there while she was doing open guard and my hamstrings on fire, my back, and I'm like, why do I choose to do this? Why do I offer, and then in the end, I ended up winning like double gold at 2015 Gi Worlds, 2016 No Gi Worlds, 2018 Pan Ams, 2019 and after that, just utilizing kind of like the structure she gave me, I took that with me. But we used to train, roll, drill all the time. It was fun.
Do you mentioned those championships are IBJJF championships, right? Mm-hmm. Do you still
compete?
Would you? Do you? Can you? Can you with your agreements and stuff?
With the one contract I can. The only things with those is just the travel, And then sometimes, like with one right now, I'm like on call, but I'm not on call. Like they'll tell me, hey, we're setting you up for a match in the next 2 months. Start training for it. Maybe a month goes in, and they're like, oh, like the match didn't work out. The girl had to pull out. Yeah. Then I'm just like, okay, I could have done this tournament. So it's like I don't like signing up. Because it happens to me before where I've signed up for tournaments at IBJJF. Then I show up and pay like the trip to go all the way over there because I have to pay for that out of pocket.
Nobody there.
And then the girls that signed up either didn't show, didn't pull their name out, or they just didn't make way or something. Something always happened.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to let it finish.
And I was like, God damn it. So, and I've done it a couple of times where I did sign up for tournaments, the IBJJF tournaments, and then I've had another competition come up and I forgot to take my name out. And then the girl writes to me. She's like, hey, are you here? They're calling your name. And I'm like, fuck. That's happened to me before. Yeah. And now I'm the one doing it. So that's why I'm like, I pick and choose my battles. But for sure, I would still do an IBJJF. Yeah.
You got to put your name in as like your...
Yeah, right. Amanda and Luis Alequin.
Put your name
you got to put... you don't put Tubby, right? You
no. For a long time, I had like an identity crisis because of that. Yeah. You
might have to put in your maiden name.
Yeah.
Right, could you? Right?
That's what I had before. I had... So no one knew who I was because at one point, my ID was Amanda Eloise Alequin, so I would compete at some tournaments like that. But then my passport when I would go overseas was Amanda Luis Santana Benavides. My whole name is you don't even want to know my whole name. You ever watch The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? Like Esteban Julio Ricardo, like that's my full name. So when I would compete overseas, they would have Amanda E. Santana Benavides, and everyone was like, who's that?
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, so I would compete IBJJF like that, and no one knew who I was. Then I changed to Amanda. Finally, I got my name changed, my passport changed, everything to Amanda Eloise Alequin. So I've been having more a better, outcome like that. But before,
Yeah.
I was competing like 3-4 different names: Amanda Santana, Amanda Luis Alequin, Amanda Luis Santana Benavides, and then Tubby Alequin. So it was like,
So, one, you said you weren't supposed to fight the WNO.
yeah.
Is that like you sign a contract that you
Yeah.
can't fight?
So I'm only allowed to compete ADCC or IBJJF.
Okay, all right. It's
So
just because
two
that's basically a
organizations,
competitor.
yeah.
They look at it as a
Yeah,
competitor.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's such a weird world. I talked so much shit about like jiu-jitsu and I love jiu-jitsu, but it's not like the best spectator sport. And I hadn't really watched the 1FCs, and I didn't realize that they were already doing what I said had to be done, which is like you got to mix it in. You know, you can't. It's hard for it to be a standalone because we'll watch it in the jiu-jitsu community and maybe even by default, like MMA guys that maybe aren't like belting and like they're not getting a blue and like they're just doing it for MMA. We'll get those people, but it's really hard to get just like you're not just like
or just
in UFC. There are people that have never trained that are just there to see the blood and the craziness, but they never train. I just don't feel like how many people that you're like, oh, I watched your match the other day. Oh, where do you train? No, I don't train. No, I don't train. I've never trained martial arts ever, but I watch jiu-jitsu. That doesn't happen, right? So I never thought that there would be a time like even with like Gordon and him like elevating just like the eyeballs on the sport. I just didn't think that it would ever happen. And then I'm like, oh, 1FC on Prime. I followed it online and I saw some of the fights, but I wasn't really paying attention to it to that scale. And now I'm like watching it going, this is perfect.
Yeah,
like just insert it in with, and I love the whole, it's the taekwondo.
It's so professional, man.
They don't do like Muay Thai, right? It's Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA, and then jiu-jitsu, right?
Yep.
Right? Those are like
and I'm not
essentially
even joking. Like it's definitely changing, like you say, the sport, because I have people that I went to high school with or middle school that wrote to me and they were like, dude, this is you. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. You're right. Or I have like people that I went to high school with or elementary and they're doing jiu-jitsu now. Yeah. It's crazy. And like I see them like, following me or watching and liking my stuff. And I'm like, dude, y'all made fun of me because I was so invested at the age of 15 in jiu-jitsu. And now who's making fun of who? Who's doing this as a career? Now you see me on TV. What's up? No, but for sure, definitely people from the woodworks that I was like, wow. And then I did get a bigger following from people from different sports. I'm getting like follows from karate people, like Sistema people, Taekwondo, all that stuff. So it's pretty good.
Asian people.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's true. That it opens that market up, right? Because it's just so big over there. Do you have another scheduled fight?
So last time I spoke to the VP, he told me maybe December. Okay. They're looking because they're fighting. So I had to go up and wait for this one, 125, because my opponent wasn't ready. I don't know, or they just couldn't find me an opponent for 115. So I went up to 125, and I want to say this is going out of my contract because I originally signed for 115. But now the two girls are fighting for the title belt at the end of this month for the 115, and they told me depending on who gets that, I may have them for December. So I was like,
Danielle
and
Kelly?
Jessica Khan, yeah.
Okay, so their fight. Danielle has the belt?
No, no one has the belt. It's a vacant belt, yeah.
Okay, so where's Danielle? Match. Danielle's fighting at what? Right now she fights at
115. Yeah.
No, but I thought she had the belt already. She's always been fighting at 115. Her up.
Yeah, 115.
Oh, okay.
And now they're actually putting the belt on the line and having them to fight as contenders for it.
Okay. And you walk around at what?
Yeah, right now I'm a little heavy. I was just telling him my heavy. It's like I'm 122 right now, but usually I walk around like 118.
Okay.
Well, tell them what you ate last night. She woke up 122 this morning. Tell them what you ate.
I've had like a whole month of just festivities. I really haven't trained much this last month. It was my birthday. And then he had a bunch of stuff planned, had surprises, had family coming in. And then we left out of town to Atlanta to spend some time with my sponsors. Shout out to Gina and Byron out in Atlanta, Striker Fight Center. It was really fun. But last night I had
7-Eleven run.
Okay. All right. Let's not tell the people everything. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For one. What do we have for dinner?
They got the bananas at the register in 7-Eleven, right?
Okay, so for dinner, I had a healthy dinner. Okay, I had some baked fish with a little side of potatoes, some little bit of rice, and
I want to hear the 7-Eleven. Come on.
Okay, and after that, I was like, bro, I ate mostly fish, so I was just like, I'm hungry again. We had some mushrooms and stuff. So he was just like, we can do a 7-Eleven run. He's like, but you're going to have to go by yourself. So I was like, okay. I was like, no, you got to take me. So he took me, and I got a donut. I got a bag of chips. Some juicy juice, right? Snackies, okay? Mm-hmm. And then I ate that. And then after that, we stayed up till midnight because we don't have morning class this morning. So I was like, Thursday nights are like our date night, our movie night. So we watched like 2 movies. And then around midnight, I was just like, why am I hungry again? And he's like, dude, just go to sleep. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to sleep. So I went to the cabinet and I got some dates and some almond butter. And I just made little date sandwiches with almond butter. And I ate like 4 of those. And then I went to
Doesn't gain a pound.
What do you mean? I woke up. Yeah. I did wake up lighter this morning, actually. I don't know how, but.
Yeah. That's like my biggest problem is eating late.
Me
If
too.
I don't eat late, I'm good. If I eat, like the more I train, the more I work out.
The more you want to eat. Yeah.
I can't, like, I wasn't wasn't doing as much weight training, and then I started doing more weight training recently. I could do the intermittent fasting where I have like a big lunch, something before 5 before I go to the gym, and then a protein shake when I come back from jiu-jitsu, and that's it.
Yeah.
But now I come back.
And you're just like
ravenous.
Yeah, man, I'm like, I gotta eat. And if I go to, the thing is, like, I'll go to sleep hungry like that hungry, and then wake up in the middle of the night, need something, and then it's worse. So I try to keep it like with fruit. And,
do you intermittent fast every day?
It's right now it's hard. I only eat 2 big meals a day. I eat breakfast and lunch, but I usually like a big lunch, almost like a dinner.
Yeah.
Like just something substantial. And then again, I'll go to jiu-jitsu, come home, have a shake, or go weight train, have a protein shake. But lately, I can't just have the protein shake. I'm snacking. I'm eating. I'm like, it's not enough. And then also, again, newly single. So it's you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't have somebody going, hey, don't do that. Or, hey, let's go to bed and let's watch a movie. Like, you're there, you're like.
What do I eat now?
Yeah. So it's like almost, I think part of me, now that I think about it, I'm doing it a little bit more out of just boredom. Like normally there's my wife and my daughter when she's not at school, my stepdaughter when she's not at school. So now it's just like, oh, I'm bored. But I did move into a building where the gym downstairs is ridiculous. It's like it's like a mini LA Fitness, but it's really big. So my building's only like maybe 15% full. It's like a new building, so it's only like 15% full. So there's nobody there. So I'm like literally go down by myself, which I love. Just go and I gotta get before all the hot women move in. Right now I gotta get buff and be down there by myself. What was your question?
Lift in the mornings typically?
I've tried to do it during lunch, but with work, it's like hard to concentrate when like the phone is going, unless I like put it. I can't really put it on. Like today is odd, like where my daughter's taking care of everything. I know where everything is. She's got everything. But like on a regular weekday, the phone is ringing. We have ads running. I pick up those phone calls, so I can't just like be working out and not pick up the phone. Yeah. So I try to work out at the same time I would do jiu-jitsu if I'm not doing both the same day. So I try to keep it the same.
Okay.
So it's like training's at 7:30, so like I'm down there at 7:30, and then I'll do an hour or 2 hours, whatever it is. I try to keep that same schedule with jiu-jitsu, because if it goes off, it's just like, well, this is weird, and my body's like, what's going on? You're supposed to be working out right now. I try to do 2 days for a little bit, but again, it's just because of work. But like on the weekend, I'll do like we do open mats on. The gym is open 7 days a week with open mats in the morning on Saturday and Sunday. So when I do those, if I can get like a nap in, like some before the end of the day, then I'll go train again. If I don't get some relaxation in, or like just even 15 minutes of just like a little nap. I can't do. I need that little nap to go do a 2 a day and then do some weights. I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't nap.
Yeah.
But no, for sure.
You're not a napper? No napper?
After starting, he's a napper. After starting morning classes, he loves to nap. Yeah, he's like, Khabib says it. You need sleep, and I'm like, stop. But I find myself harder to, because usually we eat breakfast like around 10. That's like a good day, like if we're eating breakfast that early. But for the most part, sometimes we'll fast like 1 or 2 and have our first meal there. But man, ever since starting morning classes, even if I'm just teaching and I'm there and I'm just showing the technique and watching, I don't even train. By the time I get home, I'm like, Eric, I am ravenous.
What time morning
from
class?
From 6 to 7:30, and then I get home and I'm just like, I am so hungry. Yeah. And normally, we don't eat that early. I'm not one to eat breakfast that early. I don't like eating that early.
Yeah.
But by the time I get home, and if I train, it's even worse. I'm like, I feel like a gaping hole. But for sure, it's hard for me.
I can't get my day started without breakfast and a coffee. I can't wait. Like I get out of bed, and honestly, this isn't even like a joke to promote it. I take the BioPro. I wake up because you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach. So the first thing I do, brush my teeth, take a BioPro, get a couple things done so that it's like settling on an empty stomach. But within 10, 15 minutes, coffee and breakfast, I have to eat. If not, my day is off. It's completely fucked up. Yeah,
that's because you're stopping eating.
And I'm not. Only two meals. That's like I feel like I could stick with that. I'm good because I don't have that full meal. If I can get that snacking under control, which usually,
you should try cycling it. So like, what I'll do, because I notice the same thing. as my training increased,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, by the third, fourth day, I'm dying. So I would do like 3 days, not eat after 6 p.m. And then on the Thursday, I would eat a little later. And I would feel much better Friday as a result.
And you're like tricking your stomach a little. You're tricking your body a little bit, right? Your body's like, what's going on? When am I supposed to do? Right? Yeah. That's a good thing. Like, same thing with weight training, right? Like kind of mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think again, as I'm thinking about it, we're talking about like I think it's a little bit of the boredom too. Like I got I got to do something. But if I work, I'll put in an hour or two at night after jiu-jitsu for the most part. Like I'll check my emails, clear everything. It's usually like I'm clearing my way for the next day, so I don't wake up in the morning with 50 emails. Yeah. Like if I can get things done, the phone's not ringing, people aren't bothering me, and then if I'm keep myself busy, then I'm probably not going to snack. But I do like almost all. Everything is organic, everything is fruit, but I do like. Okay, I get a little I get a little snack. Like I love I like a little chocolate. Like I need something. If I eat, I need something sweet. So even if it's something small, like at Whole Foods, they have these little like low sugar coconut, like chocolate covered coconut, whatever, I forget what they call them. So I'll get those. Like there's a nice bag, and now BJ sells them too, like in an even bigger bag. So I keep them and I try to like put them in the back of the cabinet. So, but like I eat something and I just have one, and I'm good. I drink a lot of coffee too because I want something sweet. Yeah. So I have a coffee just to get the sweet, like eat lunch and then have the sweet. Yeah. But that's my weakness. But
I can't eat one. That's my weakness.
Yeah,
I want the whole bag.
That's the difference between us. Like that, he talks about like she eats whatever she wants. I'm like, dude, I believe everything in moderation. Everything in moderation, not him.
Not me.
Like if I open up a bag of chips, I'll eat like probably a couple of them, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want something else. Like like I'll snack. Him, it's like he can't have one because he'll eat the whole thing, and I'm like, dude, why do you do that to yourself?
And then I want sweet.
And then he wants sweet. If he has salty, he wants sweet. If he wants sweet, he wants salty after. So
if anything, including like the healthy stuff, I'll put like if I like clean some grapes, I'll just take out and put it in a bowl. If I bring the whole bowl to the couch and
it's gone.
I'm eating the whole thing. Yeah. So I gotta like, okay, put it in a bowl, just eat these, and then I don't know, you just kind of train yourself to do it. But like if I did grab a bag of chips, even if they're healthy and like I'm in, and then it's like that. Oh, I ate the whole.
Might as well finish it.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna wait? Why am I gonna put this back and waste all this room?
Sure, me too. The boredom thing. Like sometimes we're home when we're on the go. We're good. We're so good. Like, we were like, damn, we didn't eat today. It's 3:00. We need to eat something. Like we're going. But when we're home, the kitchen's right next to the living room. So I'm constantly in there. And he's like, you're just eating because you're bored. Yeah. And I'm like, so let's do something. Take me out. Let's go to the beach. Let's go for a walk. I'm like, because if I stay here in my oh my God, in my house, I'm comfortable. Of course, it's my, the house. It's the home. It's like, I got all my doggies. They're all laid out, sleeping till like 4 in the afternoon. And I'm like, I want to be you. Let's eat snacks and just lay down,
And you have some chickens too, right? You guys, you have chickens.
Yeah, dude, now I got 4 bunnies too.
You have 4, Jesus.
Yeah, 4 boys.
Now people are telling other people.
My boss is telling after, because I told him, I'm like, dude, we don't like our animals being caged. It's just like how we are. We're just like, you call us hippies, call us tree huggers, whatever you want. But we just believe that if they're domesticated because of us, we're just like, dude, if they have the means to live outside, why not?
Let them.
Yeah, so like we neutered them, which goes against nature, but we have 4 males, and I'm like, if you don't, they'll kill each other. But we also don't want them to live in the cage life, you know? So all of them are rescues. We even go to the pet supermarket, and the guy's like, you want one? You can take whichever one you want.
No
like
more.
The exotic pet shop.
Were you guys both like this before, or did one rub off on the other? Were you like that? You were the same?
He's always loved animals. I've always loved animals, and it was just like, we love food, we love animals. It was just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
But for sure, and we're very, very... I'm talking about like if a chicken dies, bro, we have a whole ass funeral. Like, we don't,
people have been around us and laugh at us because it's a pet to us.
We're like, that's a kid, man. If I could bring you to my house, I would tell you that's Helena, that's Cardi, that's Josefina, that's La Cienega, that's Pepper, that's Pepina.
So are they dying from like old age, or are they dying from like
older.
fighting?
Yeah, they're all rescues. So like they're literally older. They either die from like cancer or just like old age.
So and you're not going to eat them, either, right?
Fuck,
do you guys eat meat?
I eat fish.
Okay. She's had some beef recently.
Yeah, like 6 months. I just don't like it. If I liked it, I would eat it. But I'm just like, I've never liked steak. I never liked red meat. My dad made a tomahawk on a wood fire or whatever, and I had a piece and I liked it. Yeah. But then I had some fish after, and I'm like, I would still only eat fish. Like I don't. It just doesn't. I should. Everyone's like, you should eat some red meat for creatine. Yeah. I'm like, I like eating stuff I like. If I don't like it, why would I force it?
It's red meat is the one thing that I don't get cravings for. I like red meat, but I don't get cravings for it. So like I talked about this last time. I had a heart attack like it's like 6-7 years ago.
Miss your morning routine. BioPro.
The Jiu-Jitsu Dummies would like to congratulate Neutral Zone Clean on the release of their newest product, a healthy and pH-balanced bar soap that's perfect for anyone looking to take care of their skin. This soap is made with all natural ingredients that help nourish and restore your skin's natural barrier. It contains glycerin, which naturally attracts moisture to itself in the skin, leaving it feeling soft and hydrated. The new bar soap also contains a blend of olive, coconut, and castor oils and shea butter, which are rich in vitamins, nutrients, essential fatty acids, and antioxidants that help fight harmful bacteria. With tea tree and other natural ingredients, it also helps in the prevention of fungal infections. Not only is it effective, but it also leaves your skin feeling fresh and lightly scented. It's gentle enough for even the most sensitive skin, making it a perfect choice for the whole family. Be sure to check out their website, neutralzoneclean.com, for a range of all-natural products including sprays, wipes, and shower gels, and use code JJD for 15% off your order. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
After the heart attack, I just scrapped like not eating red meat at all. Even my telling my wife, like, don't buy it. Please don't buy it. And if you buy it, just buy enough for you and our daughter. And it's the one thing, and I notice, like, especially if I'm not weight training, like, again, I don't have, it's not like, I think when I'm weight training, I'm like, I need to have red meat. Yeah. But here, it's here, not like don't need it, but like I'm like, you should have it because you're working out, so eat more red meat. Yeah. But it's the one thing that I don't crave, but I like chicken, I like fruits and vegetables, like I like that stuff. I love like bread and pizza. That's my weakness is like bread stuff.
We smelled it walking up. Is there a pizzeria around here?
Oh, there's a million restaurants around here.
I was like, Asian food. No, that's pizza.
Listen, I don't know if you have time, we can go to lunch over here. There's a million places. Yeah, I'll take you guys to lunch if you want. Yeah.
Asian.
I know. I actually used. This has completely changed. I lived in this area 20 years ago with a girlfriend, and they actually tore down our building and they put up a new building. I was actually surprised when I saw it. But when I went back, it's so changed. But when I went back to the park, I'm like, holy shit! Oh, my apartment was right there. It's right here. Wow. So like this area's changed, but there's so much. Like this, most of this wasn't here. Like if you notice, like all these buildings are like pretty much brand new.
Yeah,
like
everything looks nice.
Boca's like a little mini city here now, and this
we were
it's
driving.
crazy.
I was like, I've never been to downtown.
There's a
Boca.
ton of stuff around here. There's a
downtown
million.
Delray, but not here. This was nice.
Yeah,
this is nice.
Yeah,
it looks like downtown Palm Beach Gardens in a way.
This is like one exit before Deerfield, right? Deerfield is.
Yeah, this is. Well, if you're coming from West Palm Beach, where did you get off Glades?
We got off on Palmetto Park.
Okay, yeah, so we're basically like Palmetto's right there, so it's like between Glades and Palmetto. I actually missed my exit and I went down the Glades, and it's like the same amount of time. But yeah, this is like, I mean, so Boca. Where you from? Boca. Girls, you meet a girl in the club and she's like, where you from? Boca. Like, and then it's go east or west Boca, because you could tell a lot by east or west.
That's like Palm Beach, West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Palm Beach or West Palm Beach?
So, yeah, I lived over here. It's beautiful over here, but it's completely changed, but it's really nice. But like, there's a couple of buildings that once they finish and they start populating, I mean, this is just going to be a mess over here. It's just like people coming out. So it's really nice over here. So what were we talking about?
But I will tell you
Food.
too, my mom and dad have gotten chickens too. Yeah. And dude, because just like us, they're not allowed to have chickens.
Yeah.
But she has roosters. She bought them. They weren't sexed, and she has a couple roosters. Now that bitch.
She been eating them.
She been eating them. She will. She will. Once they start crowing, and she was like, "You yelling, basically telling me you ready to die." You know? So she does. She has some that she has hens, and then she has roosters. And the roosters she does. But my mom was born and raised in Ecuador, so she knows how to make a mean, stewed chicken. Like she's
No,
she will.
The ex was Ecuadorian.
Oh.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Does she remind you about Lorena Bobbitt every once in a while?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He knows. He knows my mom too. So he's just like, you're a reflection of your mom. And my mom's the same. My mom's the sweetest woman you'll ever meet. She'll stuff you like a turkey. She will feed you. That's her love language.
Yeah.
That bitch could be crazy. I've seen her crazy side, and he's seen it too. And he's just like, you're your mom, bro. 100%.
When I would walk into the bedroom and she'd be like always watching like a Lifetime movie. You know, all those Lifetime movies are always about
the girl snapping.
Somebody did her wrong and she's now going to kill him, or she burns the bed, or she cuts a little ding-a-ling off, whatever it is. And I see her watching that stuff. I'm just like, she'd make sure she reminded me. Remember, I'm Ecuadorian. I'm like,
funny.
oh Jesus.
I used to watch Snap and Deadly Woman all the time, and he's like, "Are you trying to say something to me?" I was on a bad binge at one point, and he was like, "What's all this about? Like, are you trying to give me a hint, a sign?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, it's just these girls are just. It's crazy how they literally just snap. It's insane." Bitches be crazy.
Yeah, no,
and remember, bitches be crazy. Remember, I said it.
You said that on the show, and I would tell my wife and my daughter that. I was always saying that to them. They'd be watching something before you ever said it. So when you said it, it like resonated with me even more. When I'm in that, like they're always watching their like rom-coms or again murder shit. Like they're just watching all this girly stuff, and I just be back there and I go, you know what I say, and they'd be like, what? Said bitches be crazy. I'm like, bitches be crazy.
That's been my number one thing, bro. Always girls. Man.
Yeah. So Eric, what do you got going on? You coming off an injury recently?
Bro, March tore both sides of my meniscus on the same knee.
Really?
Sports surgeons were like, typically you want to get surgery, but they saw the progress I was making, and they were like, hey man, as long as
completely torn? Do they have to?
On the lateral side, bucket handle, which is the worst type of tear, and then on the medial, it was just some type of tear. Okay. So the thing with the meniscus is they can go in there and they'll look at it and they'll either decide to suture it or they'll just cut it out. And I'm like, man, the last thing I want is some guy getting inside my knee and saying, we're going to cut this out. So essentially the meniscus is a cushion between your femur and your tibia. So over time, if you don't have that cushion, I'm like, I'll just rehab. I was on the heavy knees over toes guy. I don't know if you heard of that guy.
Yeah.
His stuff is legit,
walking backwards
man.
and stuff,
man.
right? Yeah,
treadmill, sled.
I blew out this knee the day before COVID. Ugh. So like that was like if it had to happen, and thank God it happened during COVID.
Wow.
Training
like this, rolling with my coach.
What, your knee popped out, or just like you just blew your ACL?
So we're heavy into like Z-guard and lockdown stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had me. I was on the top. He had me in a lockdown, but I was like literally laying on top of him. I was really high, so like usually like you can he couldn't stretch me out. I was just high, and I had him in like a cross cut. Now I'm like a purple belt at that time. This is my black belt coach, and I didn't realize like I was being super disrespectful. Red. Yeah, I'm like I finally got him. I'm gonna get my coat. I'm gonna get him.
Of course,
but. It was like I wasn't under the neck. I was definitely like the gi was like over his face a little bit. Like I just saw red, right? And I'm like, I gotta get this. Yeah. And I wasn't letting go. And then he just looking at me. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I didn't realize that he was. He has like all weird names because of the kids' classes. So like he does all these weird names and stuff. So we just call it folding the leg. So you let go of the lockdown and then you fold the leg. So my leg is like this. So he has me like this now, and I'm supposed. If I didn't know at that time what that was, so I'm supposed to I should give up the sweep.
Yeah,
I should sweep or it's gonna pop.
Your leg blocked out.
So he's like, "Are you okay? You okay?" And he asked me like 3 times, and like the third one, it popped.
Did you get MRI? Did you find out?
I got an MRI. I was Jesus Christ, it's been so long. I just had a tear. Was it?
On the outside, MCL is on the inside. LCL is on the outside.
So I had just a tear when it was again pre-COVID. So he was like, "We're gonna do surgery," but the line for surgery was so long. Like he was just like, "COVID, you can't make an appointment." Yeah. So I went through the whole thing, and I went through the whole COVID. I had a brace on for months, And then when it was kind of like time, like he was just like, no, you're good. You're like,
Yeah,
this
dude.
is okay. You know, he's like, I don't think we have to do surgery. You're good. I'm good. I don't wear a brace on it.
Yes.
I've kind of hurt this recently. Same thing, but I knew right away, okay, I started to just rehab myself, doing more exercises, you know, wearing a brace and, you know, when I wasn't training and sometimes on the mat. And like, you know, kind of like little red, oh, something's hurting. And then now I know like kind of what to do. But I don't, you know, I'm glad I didn't have to do surgery.
These doctors ready to just cut you open, man.
Well, it's the you know,
Yeah.
it's gonna make the money.
Yeah.
He ran the beach for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
I
ran
felt
like
like
a mile.
Forrest Gump,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I haven't, you know, for 6 months, I haven't ran. I haven't jumped.
Yeah.
I just started rolling, like rolling again. So
And I know like it was serious because like when we would take our dogs out and if they would try to run or take a, you know, make a run for it, he's like start up and everything was slow. And I'm like, catch him. He's like,
Yeah.
I
I forgot how to
can't.
run.
Yeah.
I forget how to run.
Oh shit, that's right. So yeah, it was bad at one point. But when he was rehabbing himself and stuff, and he sent like the little disc out to like some of his friends and whatnot, his sports friends, and he was able to start squatting and start sitting on his heels, and they were all like, "Do not let no one touch you." They're like, "Do not let no one come near you. Do not let no one open you up." They were like, "Do you know? Keep continuing what you're doing, like you know, training, rehabbing, all that stuff." And he's like, if he's doing something, he's going all in. So like with his, it's not just rehabbing and doing exercises. Like Mans is listening to stuff, watching stuff, footage, videos, like learning about the knee and the different, like the ligaments and stuff like that.
I'm
good
horrible with that. I'm just like,
I had to.
I'm in there like, oh, you're gonna fix it and just wear this, and like honestly, that's why I'm like, what's in the like I forget. I'm so bad at that
he
stuff.
even
I'm
has
just like, I
like
just want to train.
a book where
Yeah.
he just writes down like, you know, little mantras and stuff. And like, that's why I'm like, if he's rehabbing it, he's rehabbing everything, like mentally, spiritually, physically.
As a pro athlete,
The
you
whole
get hurt,
thing,
and
yeah.
you know, you're like, you know,
So-
I had signed to PFL, and then I got hurt. I'm like, dude, you know, I'm 33. You know, all these voices start coming in your head.
Mm-hmm.
So I developed some mantras like, my time's coming. That's one. Anytime I find myself like, you know, I'm watching a UFC fight or something, and you know, your brain's just like, oh, well, what about you? All right, my time's coming. Like,
Yeah.
not even gonna.
Yeah, and I tell him like, come on, your age, dude. I was like, you shouldn't even bring that into effect. I was like, look at Gilbert Burns and all them. Like, he's like, they're all like 36, you know, 35, and I'm like, you still got time. You still got more than enough time under your belt.
This is my take on something like that. If you're a good person, if you're genuinely a good person, I do believe in like, you ever like hear The Secret, like Power of the Secret.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
big on
like, I
that.
try not to like, I'm not preachy about it, but I just believe that everything happens for a reason. And even what happened to your knee, it happened because it was supposed to happen because something good's coming. Like I
100%,
really,
yeah.
absolutely, truly believe that, you know, and but it goes back to if you're a good person.
Yeah.
If you're a dirtbag or a shit or an asshole, it's probably not going to happen like that for you.
Nope.
So even like I use the analogy, like when I'm in the car in traffic, doesn't freak me out. I'm in traffic because I'm gonna miss that accident that I would get into down the road. Like that's the way. That's I like look at it like
Yeah.
that. So like I could be in the car with somebody that like, fuck man, we're late and this and that. I'm like, we're supposed to be late, man. This is what it's supposed to be. We're not.
Legit.
I wasn't maliciously late. I wasn't like trying to be late to get out of something. Like, just this is where I'm supposed to be. I forget something upstairs. I got to run upstairs and get it. I'm like, there's a reason. The universe is looking out for me. I feel like I'm a good person. The universe is looking out for me. So if you kind of take that
Yeah,
kind
when
of
you have
attitude,
that mindset too, it gets spooky, right?
It gets-
Yeah, yeah.
It gets real
We did a
spooky.
little like for when we live that law. Like what you get, what you put out is what you
Yeah.
give. For every seed of adversity lies a seed of equal or greater benefit. And at one point when we started that, well, this is like 10 years
This
ago.
is when The Secret
it
came out.
Yeah.
This was like a long time ago. I remember we did a little experiment, and I was like, "All right, let's just try it out." I was like, "We've never, you know, like the mind, whatever the mind can believe and you know, conceive, it can achieve." So I remember we started with the green flowers.
No, green was the last.
The last one we
'Cause
we
that was
started
a
saying like
far-fetched
flowers.
color.
Yeah, we started saying like flowers. Okay, we're gonna see a purple flower. We're gonna see like a red flower. You know, a yellow flower. And then I'm like, all right. After we started seeing it, like we would sit down at the table after talking about it before getting in the car, and ironically, there'd be like a bouquet of flowers with the color flower we were talking about. And I'm like, okay, this is just a coincidental.
The green
you know?
one, the green one.
is what did it to us. We were like, you know what? We've never seen an actual green flower, like a green flower, like a lime green. You know, we were like, let's get specific with it. Let's do like a lime green, like neon green, kind of like on the verge of like yellow and green, not too green, not too light. I was like, let's look for a flower like that, something rare that we're coming up with. and I don't know where we went.
We went to eat.
Yeah, was it an Asian or like,
I don't know,
what
but it was on the table.
But it was on the table.
Yeah.
It was
Goosebumps.
obviously a fake flower, but it was like all the little tables had like a little bouquet thing, but they were all different colors, and our one table was the only one with like the specifically lime green like neon flower, and like we didn't notice it until we were sitting down just talking, and then I don't know if it was me or him, but we looked at it, and I'm like, oh, shut the I was like, this is not, no. And we started looking
It's
around at all the
definitely-
tables, and I'm like, Eric, this is weird. But when we were talking about it, we weren't just like saying, oh, we're going to see. No, we were like, every time we got in the car, like, we're going to see a green flower today. We're going to see the green flower. Everywhere we went, like, green flower, wouldn't find it. And then we just sat down. Maybe we forgot about it, sat down later on that day, and then saw it there. And I'm like, stop. All these tables here. And like, that's when we were like, okay.
I'm a believer,
right.
man. I do believe. Again, I get caveat though. You have, if you're a good person. If you're a shit, then maybe it does work the same way, because right then you attract the negative, and then you're like, I actually had a deep. So I was working at home after I got into an accident, coming home from my friend's wedding. I always stayed at his house. His wife was a bartender at Passion nightclub at the casino. I don't know if you know the casino down here.
Oh, she was messing you up.
So they wound up. We went to Vegas. They got married and had a reception a few months later over Labor Day weekend. Right, we just had Labor Day, so it's a Sunday. We're having the reception, and then we all go to Passion nightclub. Get fucked up. But they lived right by Passion. I lived far away, and I always stayed at their house, always. But because they had the reception, they had a lot of family staying. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
But I was fucked up, passed out behind the wheel of the car, and just rammed into somebody. Life fell apart. Lost my job, couldn't get to work, like couldn't drive. I was supposed to drive, and I opened up my first marketing company, and I was working out of my house, and I had my friend's girlfriend started working for me. She used to come over to the house, and she was trying to recruit me to go to. She was recruiting me to this like a business organization that preached The Secret, but I'm like, get the fucking. Sounds like a fucking cult.
Yeah.
And she gave me the there's like the hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
She gave me that. I was actually telling somebody the other day, I go, it's on Prime right now. Like, go watch that. Like I've sent the book to people. I've sent them the DVD. I'm like, take from it. Don't like look at it and go, oh, I don't believe that. Just take out the pieces that you think could work for you, and that'll improve. So she gave me the video, changed my life. Because I was the guy after that accident. People would call me like, hey, how you doing? I'd be like, oh, you don't even know. I got this accident. I can't drive anywhere. Fuck this. And I was like, just negative. And those people stopped calling me, right? Like they were just like, fucking call him.
Yeah.
Debbie Downer, right?
Legit.
So I just started like, that's me. And I didn't read the book. I wound up buying the audiobook years later. The video changed my life. And the video just made me go, wow, I am doing this to myself. Like I went out and got fucked up. I went out and complained about it to everybody. I'm like the reason why all of this shit is bad, because I'm attracting all this, going out, partying, doing bad things, putting bad things in my body, So like, oh wow, look at where I am, all because of what I was doing to myself. For people that are listening to this and go, such bullshit, I break down the story that she told me. If you break it down to something really simple, like she said, my little sister wanted a Mustang. She wanted a convertible Mustang. She was a little kid. She always said she wanted a convertible Mustang. She told everybody she was going to have a Mustang one day, and she wouldn't shut up about the Mustang. She had a neighbor who was selling a Mustang who heard her talking like that, who knew that, and was like, hey, you know what? I'm selling my Mustang. Do you want to buy my Mustang? I'm going to give you a deal. And sold it to her really cheap. She got a Mustang. So like, and just like a smaller scale of something that's super tangible. Like if you tell, oh, I've got that thing. I can sell that to you. I can give that to you.
Yeah.
It's like, but now scale that up to like really being positive and thinking about things, putting things out there. My wife, I was talking to my buddy, and both of our wives had said this, like, why do you always tell people what you're doing? Or you have an idea? I go, because if I put it out there, then the world is holding me accountable. So I tell people I'm going to do the podcast. I tell people I'm going to open up a market account. Like I tell people what I'm going to do. And then I'm like, I guess I got to fucking do this, because I don't want to be the guy that doesn't come through on stuff. So that's the way it's worked in my life. And that was a good example of like, it doesn't have to be like this freaky magic thing. It's just like, if you just put something out there and you're a good person, look, somebody said, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to sell that to you. Didn't give it to her. Sold it to her and gave her a good deal. And now she had a Mustang. And I was just like, this bitch trying to get me to go to this freaking wacky. Like this was her telling me. But then again, I watched that video. Absolutely changed my life. And I'm still like that to this day. And every once in a while, I listen to the audiobook just to remind myself, just be like, I need to listen to this again.
We live that lifestyle, bro.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you have to be a good person. And it's easier to be a good person. It takes less energy to just be a kind human being compassionate
let
human
things
being.
go.
Yes,
and
than
like,
to be
you know.
angry. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm a saint. Like I do. When I get mad, and if I'm really mad, then he'll tell you that I'm like a fucking force to be reckoned with. But for the most part, I'm just like, if it doesn't concern me, if it is not gonna matter to me in 5 hours, 5 days, 5 minutes, like I'm not gonna stress out about it. And one thing he's always on me about is like, watch what you say. He's like, your words are so powerful. He was like, not just to the person you're telling them to, but to yourself. He's like, your own mind. Like when I was going through like my little teeth issues and I had to get a tooth removed, he was telling me, he was like, stop saying, why is this happening to me? He was like, stop saying why. Ask yourself, you know, like, because I'd be like, why me? You know, and be like, don't say that. Just ask yourself, what can I do to make the situation better? He's like, don't look for it to blame someone or blame yourself or why. He's like, look for a solution. Like, talk better to yourself. Tell yourself you're healing. And I remember when I was going through my tooth stuff, he was like, you know, in the room, like meditating, praying for me, like her tooth is gonna be better, she's gonna feel better, like, you know, like
That's
little
good,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's so stuff like little stuff like that, and he'll hear me like crying or just like wigging out because the antibiotics were messing up my stomach, and then he'll tell me just talk good to yourself. Tell yourself you're gonna come out of this. Everything's gonna be all right. You know, like you're gonna feel better tomorrow. You're gonna feel better in an hour. Just drink some water, sleep on it. But he's so big on that. He's like, watch what you put out there. You know, you are what you do. Like what you do will always come back to you. So always put out good in the world, and good will always come back. And then the whole something bad's happening, he's like, there's always a silver lining to anything. For every bad, there's some good.
Yeah.
He's like, the yin and yang. It's a thing. It's the law. You know, he'll tell me like, if this is happening to you, sit tight because something good is going to come out of it.
Yeah.
And now as a result, I tell everyone that when they're going through stuff, like I sympathize with them. I'm like compassionate. I'm like, hey, it's okay. Like I'll console them or comfort them. But then in the end, I'm like, the law is good and bad. You know, I'm like, this is bad that's happening to you. Just put out good, and the good, that's the silver lining in the situation will come. Just got to be patient, got to wait.
When I had that DUI, didn't go to jail or anything. Part of the probation was you had to go to group meetings. You had to do like a certain amount of hours. I had to ride a bike from like West Boca, I was living at the time, to East Boca. I was riding a bike, and then like it was like, you know, kind of winter time too. Like, so it's Florida, but like it would be windy or maybe a little chilly. I'd have to ride a bike there. There was a guy in one of that was an older guy. So it's all people that have either done like the drug related or, you know, alcohol related problem. And there was an older guy there, and he just looked like, man, this guy must be like an alcoholic his whole entire life. Just looked like it. You could see it in his face. And he's listening to all these kids complaining about their lives and being there, and like, oh, why do you drink? Because of this and this. And I remember him saying, and this stuck with me too, we wind up worrying and obsessing about things that wind up never happening. Like, let's just say something easy like, oh my God, I'm going to be late on that bill. Oh my God, something's going to happen. Oh my God. And you wind up going, like, I've been in places in my life where it's just like, man, I paid that FPL bill right at the end, boy. Or I've had my power shut off and I'm like, fuck, and had to go get it, pay it late and have it, and it came back on. And all the things that what was really going to happen? Was I going to die because the power went off? Like, was I going to drop dead? No, the power went off, and I was literally at a point. I worked for a company that closed, and we had, they were a delivery company, but they started to buy like the UPS stores. Before the UPS stores were around, there was a guy starting a delivery company, and he was buying up these little stores. They were like packing ships back then. And he was doing what the UPS store wound up following his lead, and he did that. That guy's in jail for 20 years, by the way.
Oh my God.
So those stores had lottery tickets. So my roommate was like one of the second in command under that guy that went to jail. And he had the keys to all these places. And when the guy got arrested, all of those places kind of shut down. He came home with stacks of the lottery tickets. Just, you know, like the ones that are in the machine, the paper ones, you know, scratch offs. And the company went out of business. I was making money from the company. I was actually raising money for the company. So everything stopped. We were sitting there, scratching off and being like, okay, go to this store, like cash them in to like, let's go buy some groceries, go get some milk, go to 7-Eleven, pick something up. Like shit was that bad. So like, it was just like, that crazy. But even in those worst, like, I mean, that shit just like taught me so much about.
That's the thing.
About
those
like
bad times teach you, man.
I'm not gonna.
Those bad times.
I mean, in those moments, again, I was freaking out. But when I look back on them, I'm like, what really happened? So that guy saying that in that meeting, you know, after a DUI, I'm like, you know, that's true. Like even the worst things that happened to me, like life went on. It did. Okay, power went up. Everything. The world stopped. Everybody. The whole entire world. No, like it continued on. I remember sitting on my balcony going, how the fuck am I going to pay this bill? Like, lights out in the house. I'm in my balcony because it's the only place that was light. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And look, and I got past that and I grew from it and I figured it out. But like, scratch it.
That's crazy. That's
By
a story,
the way,
though.
we scratched a lot of cards, but there was never any big money in any of
No
those. It was always like
way.
$1, $2.
Wow.
Get a
$500 a week
ticket
for life.
yeah,
God.
like it's like I'm talking about reams. They just come like flat, like in like this.
My
Like,
parents owned a liquor store,
Yeah.
and they had like the lottery tickets
Oh,
and
man.
stuff. But he's like that too in a way. Like whenever, because I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, we're balling. No, there's been times where we've gone through it, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Eric, we need to pay rent. Eric, we need
Yeah.
to do this, and he's just like. He has another little mantra that he says every day, and he's just like, money comes to us, money flows to us. Like, we have more money than we need and we want. We'll be fine. He's like, money will always come to us. Don't worry about it. Just know we're gonna pay it. We're gonna pay it. And I swear to God, I don't know how this man does it, but I'm over here stressing. I'm like, does this not bother you? Because I'm stressed out right now. He's like, it's good. Money always comes to us. We'll work it. We'll figure it out. It's gonna get paid. And it always end up somehow, some way. We always get some type
even
of
if it's at the last minute.
yeah, bro. Like, and I'm one to like have my stuff, you know, the first week. So the first week we always pay all of our stuff. So if we're late, I'm always like anxious, nervous, Nelly, freaking out. He'd always hear like, yeah, it's okay.
That was me. That's my wife. I was just like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're not dying.
Yeah,
We're gonna
he was just
get-
like, they cut the power off, so what? He's like, we'll pay it. What's the big deal?
Netflix is gonna go.
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
Oh,
something
Might
like
be a little
that.
hot. Might be a little hot.
He's like, they shut off our water. Guess what? My mom and dad are down the street. We could just go to their house. And I'm like, no. But he's like, the world isn't going to end. You're not going to stop working. I'm not going to die. We're going to just move on. He's like, it's fine. But everything will work out for itself. That's like, we sometimes argue because I'm just like, does this not bother you? Are you not bothered by this? He's like, it's okay. It's fine. Like, we'll get through it. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Stress is what if.
Yeah.
Stress is the what if.
Again, that's what he said. Like, we obsess about these things and we worry because our minds are just working on it, going, what the fuck, what am I going to do?
Manifesting
Yeah, and
it.
like, you're making it worse. And it's just like that. I'm more like,
Putting yourself in a prison.
I'm just like that. I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah. If it comes, you
it's
take
going to
it.
happen. Yeah. I mean, again, as a business owner, right? You guys own the gym. As a business owner, it's always just like enough money in the bank to pay this bill. Got to pay this bill. Got to pay this bill. This thing happens. Oh, this client didn't pay. Oh, that card. I'm sure you got it with memberships, right? Oh, hey, call Bob. His card didn't go through this month.
Yeah.
Like, I go through that shit too, and I don't let it bother me anymore. I just
That's how he is,
you
I'm
gotta,
getting better at it, but yeah.
So
Each
you guys have the gym. You have the gym up in West Palm Beach. What is the People's Jiu-Jitsu?
Yes. It is,
How's that going? How's everything?
Doing good. We've been there for a year now, and it's a nice little facility. So we rent from the owner that he owns it. It's called Sistema Martial Arts. So it's a Russian martial art.
Sure.
So it doesn't like cause any friction with what we do there. So we're programmed like our own entity and his entity. So we offer like an additional program not only for his business, but we have a nice little spot to call home for now. And it's in the heart of downtown West Palm. It's really, really nice, clean. Organized. Like, the staff is awesome. Like I said, we've worked with him for now a little bit over a year, and I have no complaints. Like, I've told him, we've merged with 2 other schools prior to this, and I'm like, I have to say, like, out of all of them, he's been one of the
Your
best
jiu-jitsu
ones to
part,
work
or
with.
him as a whole, you guys as a whole, or the jiu-jitsu
Our
merged with
jiu-jitsu
yours?
program, but just in general as a whole, like just working with him, he's pretty much like our boss because we pay him for time slots and stuff. But for the most part, he's just very good at communication, listening, organizing, setting up, and not just looking to promote or, build up his brand, but also ours.
Yeah.
He's our blue belt as well. So he
Really?
trains with us
Okay.
too. So
there
he's
you
been
go.
with us for a while. So it's like, it's we've had a great relationship from before training and now working together. So it's nice. It's nice. And all the students like it. He's always looking to add new things into his gym. Like, right. He just recently got some like honeycomb lights that are super freaking bright and will wake you up as soon as you walk in the morning.
Especially at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Yeah, people walking in. So to this day, I see like Ariel walking in. They're like walking in, like eyes all blinded, and I'm like, hey, but you're here. You're up. It's nice, clean. Like, so it's nice. We like it.
I know somebody else who did that. You mentioned Sanford MMA. My friend Drew, who actually, like you said, Drew. You guys know Drew? Yeah, right. He's at the A&M Jiu-Jitsu. A&M Jiu-Jitsu at the go-kart place. It's Hard Knocks, but like everybody knows that the Extreme Action Park, right? They do the Arte Suave is always back there, right? They do it on the basketball courts, right? They do it there. So he's a friend of mine. He was actually a friend of my first coach. I met him when I was like a white belt. We stayed in touch and we were friends, had him on the podcast a bunch. He kind of like co-hosted with me a few times when I was at my house. But that's his model, is like he was really just renting it from Sanford.
Yeah.
Right. And then like other times of the day, there might be people doing stand up and things like
Yeah.
that. He just put out something about he's got like something big's happening for him. I don't know if he's gonna move or he's gonna do more classes or something, but he's like,
That's awesome.
stay
He was
tuned,
actually doing the reels and stuff before it started becoming popular in jiu-jitsu. Like I feel like he was making money off the reels before people started monetizing with the reels.
Yeah, he
on
slowed down. He
Instagram.
slowed down a little bit, but
But it was fun.
Yeah, his stuff was good.
I liked his stuff.
He's a funny guy.
He actually inspired me to start because I'm like, he's got to be making money making these reels.
Yeah.
And then I started with the monetization with the Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, they cut that
He's
shit
good.
though.
Yeah, they did, right? That's all. I thought it was just me. Okay, so it's everyone.
I got a new I just got set up, and I'm gonna do a little different I feel like I kind of cracked a little bit of a code. I'll tell you later.
Okay, yeah.
Like I kind of found out like of how to get followers in our community, but I'm also doing like starting a little something different. But I'm already doing something on our Instagram that's just like, I didn't realize. I could just do that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'll say it later.
I told them I thought they banned me because I was crossing community guidelines. I was like, God damn, I gotta slow down.
Yeah, I don't know how true some of that stuff is. I know like when they are paying you, like people say on TikTok, when you're getting paid to create content, like they slow you down a little bit because you might make too much. Like they want to give you exposure. Like, as soon as I went into like, because on TikTok, I guess it was like there's some kind of like, I don't want to call it an ad share, but there was basically like you are in this pool with like other TikTokers, and then they pay you for how many views. But it was just like, as soon as I went into that, my views went down, so I'm getting less money. I was either lots of views and no content, or I'm getting no lots of views and I'm not making anything, or bring my views down, but then I'm sharing in that. But I think for anybody that's doing it, this is not the secret that I was going to say, but really it's the sponsorships, it's the collaborations that the money's in doing stuff with other brands.
Yep, exactly.
You
and that's where they changed it. Now you can collaborate and stuff like that, paid partnership labels and stuff like that. Yep.
But like you getting with companies and saying like, look, I'm going to do this for you is the better way to go than to worry about the platform giving you money.
Yep.
Because you ever see those videos? It's like, look how much YouTube is paying me for like 15 million views, and it's like never any money. And it's just like, you got to make the money from the sponsorships. It's just the way that it's got to be. So with the gym, I heard you talk about, we talked about kind of the secret and that positivity. Like the gym was kind of, did you start it like originally, like you were going to go into it like as a nonprofit and you were going to do something with the community? Are you still like providing service to? You want to explain?
Yeah. So basically, when we had it as a nonprofit, this was back in 2019. I partnered up with one of at the time she was a brown belt or purple belt, maybe. Or maybe she was still a brown belt, one of the two. But she was looking to help the community. Me, I'm not educated on this. I'm just like the face for jiu-jitsu. And I was running a kids program at the time of like 30 kids. And these are all kids that were economically like challenged. Parents grew up like not having a lot of money and stuff. So jiu-jitsu, those kids would get dropped off like at 3 p.m. and get picked up like at 7, 8 o'clock at night. Okay. So they were there like all day,
It's like a daycare.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. We weren't, but pretty much they would be there,
Like a camp, right? My coach, he does the camps in the summer, so it's like they're there all day.
Yeah. So even after COVID and we shut down, parents were still trying to drop them off. I'm like, no, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
We're closed.
Yeah, we're closed, guys. But I was running that, and I guess she was inspired because she saw like, the kids really, really loved it, and she was like, I want to do something more for the jiu-jitsu community, not just for these kids, but for just bringing the community together. So we sat down, we came up with this plan. Like I came up with the name and the logo because we wanted to focus more on the community. So I'm like, okay, community, like what better way than to actually like, I looked up some ideas on Google, like what are some good logos to represent community, camaraderie, like all that stuff. And I saw a lot of ones with like holding hands or like and I was like, maybe we can do one with like, like that's how I got the logo, hands touching together, and then do like the jiu-jitsu fingers,
The tape, right?
The tape on the fingers and stuff like that. And I was like, and we can be like the people's champ. Like, how like we consider ourselves like, because we've been in West Palm for so long, we're like, we're the people's champ. We work for the people. Like, the reason why we do this because the people in the community support us and we love them, So we were like, why not the people's jiu-jitsu? We were for the people, for the community. So that's what's helped us get where we're at today. It's not like we did this on our own. It takes a village, and like our village was our community. So we started that, and like the mission statement, we worked on it together, and like we were like, our goal is to basically help underprivileged like kids, economically challenged kids, do jiu-jitsu, and as a result, as long as they go to school, that was like our biggest thing. We would pay for tournaments, pay for their tuition to train and stuff like that, as long as we would check in with the schools quarterly, and they would provide a report card showing that they were going to school, we were very, very lenient as far as like keeping C's or above,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
again, these are, younger kids and stuff. So we had all that. And then we were going to go to a new breed and set up our first tournament. And it wasn't just with our kids. So another of the things that we were doing is we were hosting rollathons. We went to 2 schools and we did a rollathon, and it was like a fundraiser. So we would roll like 10, 20 rounds, and we would just tell people to donate. And whatever you donated, we would give to the owner of the gym. And the owner of the gym, 100% of the funds raised would go to the owner, and he could choose what he wanted to do with that money, he or she. They could choose to sponsor. We would recommend to sponsor a kid, either an existing student for a tournament or for just their tuition, or sponsor another student that they knew wanted to train but couldn't afford it, and then go from there. And then we, as the company, would buy the gear from the school. So they also made another little profit, bang for their buck, and give it to the kid that was training there. So here's the thing, like, believe it or not, as transparent as we were, it was so hard to get other school owners on board, because they were like, what's the catch?
What's in it for
Everyone,
you?
what's the catch? What's in it for you? And I'm like, nothing. We're doing this to bind the community together, get more people involved, and just try to be one, like they weren't buying it. And I'm like, I don't get paid. I don't get nothing out of this. Like, my biggest thing, and I would tell people, I'm like, I'm the face. I'm the one that's advertising. I have no ties to any type of funds, any type of bank accounts. I'm not in the business side. I'm just the face. I'm the one promoting it. I'm like, that's all, like, my student that was with me that was behind that. And again, I'm not educated on that. So that was like our goal. We were planning on going to a new breed. We were sponsoring, like, freaking the owner from New Breed gave me like a deal for my students, because we were a nonprofit, and we were taking like 19 kids with us to go compete. So it was pretty cool. And then COVID happened. COVID shut down. So after like 2 years, she reaches out to me and she's like, hey, do you want to take over of the nonprofit? She's like, I can reinstate like the LLC. She's like, but you would have to find a new board. You would have to take over, like, find it, because you have to have like a board, I guess.
Yeah.
And like at that point, I'm like, I'm not well educated on this. I'm still trying to figure out how to make jiu-jitsu a for-profit business. I was like, and I don't have anyone I can really trust to put on board to trust with the funds. I'm like, a nonprofit, you're supposed to be super transparent. Last thing I want to do is like have someone say, oh, they're taking the money for themselves. I'm like, I'm not about that. I don't want to be in charge of the funds. I just want to promote it and bring the community together and know that we're being super clear, transparent, and this is to help business owners, help the community, help kids that want to train and compete. So yeah, after I told her that, she was like, listen, I don't have time for it. I have my own thing going on right now. They ended up moving further away. So she was like, I'm just not going to reinstate the LLC or renew it. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I was like, if you're not going to do that, I was like, I would like to keep the logo and the name and still continue the mission, but as a for-profit business. So I'm like, we're going to be the owners of it. We're going to be the head instructors of the program. So if we see a kid that needs help, like, we don't have to answer to anyone or say, hey, can this kid train for free? No, I'm like, we make the executive decision to say, we're going to sponsor this kid and allow them to train, and go from there. So I'm like, we're going to keep the same mission statement, the name and the logo. I was like, and just trying to let it live on, because we put in so much time and effort into that. Like, not only her, but me too. And like talking, reaching out to the community and like different jiu-jitsu schools and stuff. I'm like, we put a lot of time and effort into it. And it was something good, something that, like, to me, I was like, it's something, you're doing good in this world. You're putting good out there. To the point where a lot of business owners didn't believe it. Like, they were just like, no, there's something, it's too good to be true. Like, that was like their number one thing. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, like, trust me, I wouldn't put my name or my neck out there if I wasn't telling you this is clear as can be. So then eventually, like, she didn't renew it, and I ended up taking the name. And then I told them, I'm like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to continue it. We're going to let it live on. We'll let everyone know we're not a nonprofit, but we are still looking to help, those in the community and stuff, and keep the same mission statement. And again, just, we talked about this last time when we were on the podcast, not lose that. A lot of times, especially now, because jiu-jitsu is becoming more like business-like nowadays. It wasn't like how it was back in the day. I was like, a lot of instructors are getting these power trips where they're like telling the students, like, you can't train here, you can't do this, you can't wear this, you can't. And I'm like, dude, we got to remember, we're providing the service for them. They're the paying customer, and we're here for them. We're here to serve them. Like, it's not the other way around. Like, I'm not gonna tell a grown ass man, you can't cross train over there, you can't go there on the weekends. Like, you pay me for the service that I provide. You do what you please, like what you want,
Yeah.
you know, as long as it's not disrespectful
That was like
to
that
the
for
person.
a while, right?
Yeah,
Old school guys were like that for a long time.
And that's how we are now. We're not super culty. We're not super political. Like, we're just like, hey, we're here to do what we want. Love. We love. We know what we bring to the table. If you think you can find jiu-jitsu somewhere else, or if you know, like, hey, I like this place, suits me better, by all means, you're the paying customer, like, you know, but we're not over here like, oh, you can't train over there because we're insecure or something. No, like, you get what I'm saying?
That's usually what it is. It's
and I'm just like,
a
no,
better coach or a better atmosphere.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, go. If you like, you can just tell when you walk into a gym the type of service you're getting. Like, if you see the instructor on his phone and like classes going, then you already know, like, oh, okay, like this guy's obviously not into it. If you see someone that's actually still studying and learning to this day, and they've been in the game for 20 years, and you're like, okay, you know, this is someone that's keeping up with the game and whatnot. But yeah, so right now we're the people's jiu-jitsu. We're for the people, for the community. Like, the guys that we have with us have been with us and followed us for a long time. And that's it. We're just here just to make the community just a little bit better, man. Profit, non-profit, or for profit. Like, the whole point is just like what you put out. Like you said, what you put out is what you give.
If you put out that good energy, people are going to come too.
Yeah, man.
You know, it really does come down to atmosphere and the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no drama,
You know?
just jiu-jitsu. That's all we want, jiu-jitsu.
I've joked around though a little bit. Like, every one of my coaches, when they would say no politics, but not even like they grew and then things got political. No, they said they looked at my face, but then it was all politics. Like, as soon as, like, my first coach, I never paid him a dime. I traded marketing services for jiu-jitsu. It's a family friend. They're like, oh, you guys should talk. He's opening a jiu-jitsu academy. That didn't train yet, but I was a big UFC fan and everybody knew. And I was just like, I was looking to do something. And no politics. But I didn't understand what that meant because I didn't understand jiu-jitsu and the politics around it. But as soon as I started to get closer to him, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't like this guy. This guy doesn't like this guy.
Yeah.
And he got his black belt so that he can open his gym. And I'm just like, there's all this shit going on back here. But it was just like,
yeah, we're big on like the no drama. We've had some people come from other gyms and like, you know, try to express and tell us what they've. And we're like, hey, dude, you're here.
Yeah.
Like, consider us a sanctuary. Like, we don't want to hear about that. Like, when we left the last previous gyms, we've had other people talk, you know, and we're just like, we don't care about that. We know what we bring to the table. We're no politics, like legit, and no drama. Like, if you walk into our gym and start with we'll tell you, bro, we don't do that here. We'll put an end to it real quick. Like, we're just like, nah.
That's good. That's good.
Keep it jiu-jitsu,
I just can't. I can't fathom how just instructors hold this power over people. Like, I don't know where that happens.
So the more jiu-jitsu there is, the less the ability to do that slowly has gone away. Yeah. You know, down here in Florida, I mean, jiu-jitsu, like, we're like one of the meccas. What is it, like Austin and Texas, that area, parts of California, New York, and really South Florida really started with more than anything. But there was lots of jiu-jitsu gyms around, but because of American Top Team, right, and that growth and that exposure from the UFC blew that up, and then everybody, you know, there's a jiu-jitsu academy on every corner now. But it, you know, you kind of know, it's a small world that you start to know from students or people that travel. Watch out for this guy.
We know, and we know. Trust me, we've been in the game long enough to know. We know all the tea.
The tea.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what good is it gonna do us sitting there talking? Is my jiu-jitsu gonna get better? Talking about the owner down the street, you know, like, it's like, just
I hear, like,
jiu-jitsu.
I wind up hearing a lot more stuff like after, like, somebody will message me, oh, you're gonna have that person on, or hey, you know, like that. They just like give me the little bits of gossip behind, like, but like in messages and stuff, and I'm like, like when all, like, I don't think he'd mind me saying this, like when all the shit happened with Fight Sports, we had, I mentioned before, we had Wagner on, and then all that shit happened. He wound up sending me like a private message and was like apologetic. He's just like, hey man, I'm sorry. Like, we had just launched. He's like, I'm really sorry, you know, and like apologized to me and the jiu-jitsu community. He didn't have to freaking apologize to me, but like those things happen. People don't see that. And it's why, like, I never said one bad thing about him. Some bad choices were made and things happened, but he was very nice about it. And like, I only met him once for the show. And this guy's like explaining himself to me and apologizing to me and just a private message to me. And I was like, that was like big of him. And I kind of felt bad for him that he got caught up in that. You know, he thought he was doing the right thing, and then, like, you know, wound up, you know, his heart was truly in the right place, but it just, the rest of the world didn't see it like that.
Man, I don't play God. I don't judge others. He doesn't either. And like, we love Wagner and his family. They've been great family friends for a long time. And when all that stuff did pop off, like you said, he didn't have to reach out to you and apologize. I guess there was some talk about me and the just my name was thrown into the mix when they were trying to go after fight sports and then go after gamblers, because at the time it was a big thing. And my name got my name got thrown
Gamblers
in the mix.
was not quiet about that stuff.
My name got thrown in the mix because he wasn't quiet. I guess I don't know how my name got thrown in there. And I remember Wagner sent me a message, and he was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know this is what they're saying, but I'm letting them know that you're not like that. You're not at all about that." And he sent me the screenshot, and I remember it was like, "Bro, thank you. You don't have to come and defend my honor. I could care less. They could talk. I know me. I know what I know my honest self. But I'm like, you know what? Thank you. You're right now on the verge of getting hung by the community, but you're still out there basically defending my honor and saying no. This is not her. Don't say that. Don't mention her. And I'm like that. I appreciate that, and that's why all day I was like, I'll vibe for his family. I'll ride for his family. I'm big supporters. Regardless of what they did, we're not saints. I'm never going to point a finger because I know my hands aren't clean. But I'm like, everyone's put in a position where you have to make a decision. He made his decision, and I'm not one that's going to batter him or anything. But it is what it is, man. I mean, like I said, the time has passed, and we're good. And his family's been killing it. His kids are awesome. Love his wife. So
was it who was on? They weren't
Jasmine.
on. Were they on the card?
Yeah,
they won
Jasmine
that. They won that
Achilles.
same card, right?
Just recently, the one. Yeah, that was crazy. That one was crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. Press conference got a little hot.
Oh, that was with the flying with the flying knee cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we started. I think everybody started doing it. All of a sudden, you always wind up seeing all of the stuff online. And even at my gym, we started talking about the knee cut, and they were drilling some stuff too. So it was kind of funny how that shit just gets everywhere. Gets in all the cracks. So okay, listen, I think we did this with you last time. We have a group of questions that I've modified them a little bit, and we'll maybe modify them some on the fly. But we have a bunch of questions these are the most submitted questions. So we wind up just asking everybody these questions because when we ask for questions, it's what's your favorite submission? Everybody has that same one. I can't send out 50 T-shirts because everybody asks the same question. So we call this, Bo. You're my sound effects guy, bro. What happened? All right, let's do this again. What do we call this, Bo?
The drill down.
There you go. Okay. All right, so let's start off with, and this is both, we'll let both of you answer. So we'll start with Eric. Gi or no gi? What's your favorite?
No gi.
No gi? No gi, right? Takedown or pull guard?
Takedown.
Pull guard.
Pull guard, yeah. Guard puller. I became a guard puller because of the knee.
Yeah.
But now I'm back to a little bit more of takedowns and stuff. Music during rolling.
Type of music?
Yes. Well, first we'll start with
rolling. Yes.
Do you like music during rolling?
Yes.
Yes.
Music during rolling? What's your go-to?
Reggae.
J. Cole. J. Cole or Drake?
J. Cole.
Yeah. Okay. I know the answer to this one. We kind of talked it already. You watch a lot of jiu-jitsu outside of.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the gym, you're watching film and you're
what was I doing
watching
last
film for competitions, but you also watch a lot of instructionals as well, right? For just your own.
Yeah.
Your own
so
school to
I
teach,
told her
right?
yesterday. I felt it's man, I get people's back, and I get finishes, but it's at random. There's no systematic approach. So I was like, I gotta go find a systematic approach to attacking the back. So that's what I've been doing for the last.
This is the office moment.
I was with her last night. Last night she's taking pictures of the patches, and I get her in a seatbelt. I'm like,
on the bed.
I'm like, lay on the overhook side. Let me try something.
I get home from work and I'm fully uniform. As soon as he's like, let me try something on you real quick. And I'm standing up against prepping my little snack or whatever. He's behind me if I go over to this hand. And I'm over here doing shit. I'm like, can you wait? Can you just... And then afterwards, I finally finished, and he's like, can we go to the mat room? And I'm like, God damn it, let's go. Still in uniform and everything.
You got a mat room at the house?
Yes, yeah.
I have a mat room in there. I have one now. I had something set up in the garage, and now I have a 3-bedroom, and it's just mats.
Us too. We have 3 bedrooms. We have one bedroom, just mats.
Very cool. If you've never found jiu-jitsu, MMA or jiu-jitsu, if you never found martial arts, what would you be doing today?
Dude, I couldn't even tell you. Probably just working a regular old job, to be honest.
9 to 5. Yeah. Was there anything that you dreamed about being when you were a kid before martial arts?
MMA, I was really into football. I played prep, pee-wee prep, played in high school, made some bad decisions in high school. Grades were not great.
Yeah.
Was going to go to a community college to play at FAU, and then I found jiu-jitsu, and I was like, I'm here.
Was it?
Yeah.
How about you?
I would have been running the streets. No, I'm just kidding. No. For sure, I would have been working at the vet office.
Yeah,
100% working at the vet office. Any type of veterinarian office. But
Yeah.
for sure.
You always loved
Always
animals?
involved.
Like,
I'm talking about when I would go to Ecuador, my mom would have like my aunt buy me like little chickens and bunnies, have that all ready for me when I got there, and I would take care of it for the summer. Growing up, like I had 14 dogs at one point. My dad would find dogs, bring them home. We found a dog roaming the streets alone, and my dad named him Solo and brought him home. Like, that's where we were at. We were
Great
just
name.
Like, yeah,
That's
Solo.
a great name.
It's a little black furry dog, and I was like, he was ours forever. So
You mentioned the vet a few times, and I was pulling something up because I had a guest on. His name was Paul Geller. He's an attorney. We had him on after that big lawsuit with
Cali.
with here on Henry Gracie, where he was the expert witness. We had him come on and talk about it. Again, his name is Paul Geller. We were talking about. He heard me talking on the show because I was always a dog person, and he had. We rescued a cat, my wife and daughter. We rescued a cat. So we had a cat. After my dog died, I never got another dog. So I've been talking about wanting a dog, but maybe I should just get a cat because they're easier. I'm in an apartment. You got to walk down, right? And so he heard the show and he's just like, listen, let me give you this link. He goes, check out Big Dog Rescue. Big Dog Rescue Ranch. You know them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gave it to me, and I've been looking on there looking for a dog. So I'm like,
Do it.
yeah. No, I got it. It's got to be a dog.
They're pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good. But yeah, get a small one. Come on, I love seeing the big guys with the little chihuahuas.
Oh, I had that. I had a Yorkie. I had a Yorkie for he lasted like 15 years.
Wow.
And still got his little ashes in the apartment. So I do want something bigger. I do want to get like a smaller German Shepherd. I want something that I can truly train and that like
Malinois?
I've been looking on there, and there was like the 19 to like 50 pound category. There were some like good sized dogs. There was one in there called Lady, but it said, do you know about them? You know?
Yeah. We get
So
good.
I'm looking on there, and then it says like some of them are at the ranch, and then this one said Alabama. Like that dog is in Alabama,
probably,
right?
yeah,
Do they? I don't know if like they would ship dogs or move them around. But
They're a bigger rescue.
Yeah.
I just like them because I know that they get the dogs covered with everything before they're adopted.
Yeah. I saw the list of like
Vaccines,
everything.
heartworms, all that stuff. And then when people want to adopt them, they'll call the vet that they normally go to just to get an insight on how they are as dog owners, which I like.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not the best conversation. I'm like, Fluffy hasn't had her shot in 7 years. Gotta be honest. But I like that they do like background checks. Like,
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah. Don't give them the name of your vet then.
No. I was saying because I moved around a lot, so it was like always a different vet. So it wasn't wasn't super consistent with the vet. So I have to get through that. But I started looking on there, and I know I'm gonna do it. It's just like I'm just like finishing the office, getting the office set up. So once I'm done, I'm like I don't have these outside things like.
And if you ever want to go, I'm pretty sure they do volunteer work. So it's like you can go in there, kind of like animal care and control, and kind of check out, see. So we don't go to those places because we'll walk out. We'll leave with dogs, bro.
sure.
I'm telling you.
You have a bunch of dogs, right?
5.
You have 5 dogs. So
dogs.
5 dogs.
4 bunnies.
4 bunnies. How many chickens?
Counted 27 the other day.
27 chickens.
Yeah.
I mean, are they like chickens that you got, or eggs hatching and like having chicks?
No. So
Like-
we only have females, so we don't have a rooster, so they just lay eggs, and they're not fertilized, so that no baby chicks will come. But all of them are rescues. Every single animal we've never raised since, except for Cookie. But even then, she was a rescue. She wasn't our dog.
Did you say something about like the guy, the vet at the office you work in? Is he like, hey, give it to them?
Yeah,
Or
so-
you started to say that before, like, hey,
because
give it to them. They're doing.
My landlord, my boss his mom is my landlord, so she owns the house. He's a vet, and it's gotten to the point where he sees, like, he even calls us like the bunny whisperers, because we'll send him, and I'll show you some videos. We send him videos and stuff, and he's just like, dude. So now when anyone comes in, they're like, hey, we have some bunnies like that we need to find a home for. He was like, I'll give you the number of this girl, and like, but with the dogs, he'll put a cap on it. Chickens, the man loves chickens. Like right now, he's got like 10 turkeys at the clinic. And he's got like 100
chickens at the clinic.
And like he likes breeding them and making different breeds because the different colored eggs.
Okay.
So he'll give us like more hens and stuff, but like he knows I'll take them and I'll take good care of them. Like we love our babies.
So right now, you've got all these animals at the house, so you'll go back. Just 2 of you taking care of all these animals. I mean, you're gonna have to hire somebody pretty soon.
You would never think. We have one of our students. Shout out to Weedos. He's one of our purple belts, and one of our black belts too. Recently, he'll stay at the house when we go out of town. they're like the best chicken tenders ever. Like they're like the best, like
Chicken tenders.
bunny tenders, chicken tenders, the dog tenders, house sitters. Like they're awesome. So when we leave, those are like our.
I heard chicken
go-to.
tenders. I thought that like
chicken.
the food.
Yep. Trust me, when my boss called one of the girls a chicken tender, I was like. Why is she a chicken tender? And then I was like, "Oh my god, mind blown! She tends the chickens like she's a chicken."
I'm like,
tender.
oh, that tastes good.
Yeah, right. Ironic.
So you'd be working in that world.
100%. Vet tech, probably veterinary. I don't know, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
And this isn't going to stop. This is going to be your. This is like again, thinking about the positivity before thinking like being forward thinking. Like this is probably going to be the thing that you do when you're not competing in jiu-jitsu anymore, right? This is. Yeah.
Oh, if it was up to me, I'd probably have like my own sitting service.
We definitely want to open our own rescue at some point.
Yeah. So I was
sure.
like, down the line, get a house, get some land. I'm like, build a rescue on there. I know some people who have I know one lady who owns 2 properties, and it's called Misfit Rescue. She takes in like all the misfits. Yeah. And it's cool because like it's her own home properties, and she's made like a rescue out of it, and she's got like 60 dogs at each like property, like ranch or whatever. But she literally takes all these dogs, like mostly pit bulls and stuff, and they're all sweet, like some of them obviously they're a little bit need to be trained and stuff, but for the most part, she takes the ones that are on death row and no one wants.
I tried to look through the Broward site, and it's all like pit bulls or pit bull mixes, and I'm like, I don't really want to get a pit bull.
Yeah, man.
I know I have a friend that him and his girlfriend's daughter got attacked by a pit bull that they had just found on the road, like a baby that they raised, and then it freaked out on them.
Yeah, man.
And like she almost lost her eye, like scars across the face. Like I'm just like, when people are like, oh no, but pit bulls are good, I'm like, I just know that story, and I know that they can be. But man, I also know about that.
Once they've been through enough, like even our bunny for some reason tries the new one we just got.
Gangster?
Bro, he must have.
He drew blood.
He drew blood twice. Like Eric at one point was like, bro, I'm scared of him.
I'm scared of the rabbit.
You got to get in those little gangster glasses.
Bro, legit. He sees him, and I don't know if it was like
that was
a male.
before. That was
he's
before.
better now, but
he's sweet.
He's better now that he's outside.
Now
but,
he's sweet.
Yeah. We neutered him. But I don't know if he was maybe. Because, again, he walked into the pet store, and the guy, he knows that we take, like, animals and, like, rescue them and stuff. And as soon as he saw him, before he was going to walk out, they handed him a box. They were like, here, this is for you. And Eric's like, what is this? And she was like, Mom said you were looking at him, so you can take him. And he was like
2 weeks ago,
just
I'm looking at
him. He was like, I just came here to buy chicken food. She's like, he's yours now. You know, so we got Butch. And I don't know if he was just I don't know if a male did something to him, or a male was his previous owner. But every time I would let him out the cage, he would run up to Eric and try to bite him. Me, he was fine, but straight up run up to him and just nip him, and he drew blood twice.
I didn't know cats could be vicious. I mean, a rabbit could be vicious.
I didn't know either. That was the first one.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
That's
like, what
funny.
is it with him attacking him? Yeah, legit. Yeah, drew blood twice. And I was like, man, he's good now, though.
Let's go into the next question, which is, we're almost done. What is your ultimate goal in the world of, let's say, martial arts, since we have MMA and jiu-jitsu represented? What's your ultimate goal? Eric, go first.
Oh, man. Welterweight champion of a major organization. Right now, I can't say too much, but one showed interest. So me and Tubby might both be in one, but definitely a welterweight champion in MMA. And
when you say be in one, you one, or you mean?
ONE FC.
Oh, ONE FC. Oh, so you might fight in ONE FC.
And definitely for jiu-jitsu.
When you said showed interest, a fighter? What did you mean?
When I got there, they were like, oh, we thought you were signed to PFL.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were like, oh, Eric's here. I'm like, guys, Tubby's here. All right?
Oh, okay.
They were just like,
the guy the matchmaker basically said, he's like, go get a finisher too. And he's like,
we want to talk.
You're on deck. So
okay. All right. Very good.
Definitely an MMA world champion. And when I'm done with MMA, like, kill the jiu-jitsu scene, man. I really love jiu-jitsu, man. I put so much work into MMA. I'm like, I'm already done so much that I have to do it. But definitely, I mean, I feel like when you're not even primed for jiu-jitsu till like you're 36, 37. So when I'm slowed down with MMA, I definitely want to just
competition scene.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, you can even do jiu-jitsu in one,
everything,
right?
everything.
In one,
yeah,
right? You could be taking fights. I do like the guys that have been crossing over from the MMA within ONE FC. MMA guys doing jiu-jitsu. I like that. I mean, it's like Mikey's fought one or two guys like that, which is really cool. So
I would
your answer
want
to that.
a black belt gi world title for sure, and then become the 115 ones
Why gi?
Champ.
Why are you saying? Because you've
Because I
already
have
done.
one for no gi.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
you
I
don't
want
have
the
anything
black
for gi.
belt. For black belt gi, I don't. Yeah. So I have for like Pan Ams and stuff, but I was like, I want black belt gi.
Yeah.
That's my black belt gi world title for IBJJF. And then 80cc and one. I want to be 80cc
for
champ, especially
sure.
now with the new weight class.
Yeah.
It's 55 kilograms. It's up to 120. I was like, this is the most beautiful. Because I fought the bigger one when I had to fight Gabby Garcia. Then I fought the regular one where I was still under. Now
What are the weight categories going to be for
it's
women now?
55.
Not the. Is it because it was split? Just two.
Yeah. It was
So-
70 and 70. Below 70, above 70. Or below 60, above 60.
Okay, and
60
now
kilograms.
it's going to.
55, 60, above 60.
Okay, that
yeah.
makes, it's starting to make more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
They had a lot of pressure
That's
on
12,
that.
12 pounds. 12. That's over
Yeah.
12 pounds.
But
for
even like the the Gabby, if you're over
Yeah.
60, but you're fighting Gabby Garcia.
yeah,
like,
exactly. Exactly.
Really,
It's a huge gap.
Yeah.
So that black belt world title and get the championship belt for one in December.
So talking about let's talk about that for a second because I'm always interested in that. Weight and weightlifting. How important is that for jiu-jitsu?
Super.
Like, yeah.
I think super.
Yeah.
Super important.
Wait.
I think I heard you say something, and I was like, that's what I've been saying. If anything, the stronger I am, I can slow down a more skilled opponent and then suck him into my game. I know when I'm not lifting and I'm not supplementing my jiu-jitsu outside of that, I'm like, okay, he's more skilled, and now I'm not that strong. And look, I'm 50. Most of the guys that I train with are under 40 and like 26, 25,
Yeah.
26.
Younger,
Yeah, like strong.
faster.
And I,
Gunning for you.
yeah, and I do love it. I do love it. But yeah, they're a lot younger. What somebody said, like for every belt rank or every 10 years, like add a belt rank. So like I'm 50, he's 25. That's like 2 belt ranks, right? So
Yeah.
he kind of evens himself out with me
Yeah.
if he's a blue belt because
Athletic,
Right,
young.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. I believe it's super important. Me being smaller, I always catch people whenever I roll with them. They're always like, wow, you're like surprisingly really strong. And I'm like, that's just because I have to strength train to keep up. I'm still small, but I like to utilize my speed. And I was like, being strong for my frame is good too. Speed like helps work more, but just weightlifting and then just maintaining like a good decent weight. Because when I was heavier, I did feel slower. I felt stronger, obviously, but I did feel slower. Now that I'm lighter, I feel faster, but still strong.
Yeah.
Just as strong as I was when I was heavier.
yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like keeping your weight at a good, not being too heavy, but also not being too light, and then also weightlifting at least minimum 3 times a week.
So I love
3
like
times a week.
I feel like strength is becoming an attribute again, but my weight is an attribute. I would love, when stop using your weight or don't use your strength. I'm like, I just don't believe in that. That's like telling somebody who's flexible, don't use your flexibility.
Yeah,
Come on. Because I'm stronger and heavier than you, you're saying that, right? A heavy instructor isn't going to say don't use your weight. He's going to show. My first coach was actually 265. He was shorter than me, but 265. And I was probably like 220s at that time. I'm 230 now. He was like, no. Like, get on top, stay on
I
top,
find
smother.
it insulting when someone tells me, like,
Yeah.
I try not to use my weight or strength. And I'm like,
It's always somebody small.
yeah. And I'm like, use your weight and strength, goddammit.
I think I like weight training for it. Absolutely. I feel like I recover way faster, especially if something's hurting. I like try to work out that thing. And then again, it's just like I feel like a different person on the mat. And I even post, I do this joke all the time when somebody calls you, like, it was an insult when somebody be like, you roll with somebody and they're like, oh, you're so strong.
Yeah.
That literally happened to me.
Yeah. Now I'm like, that's right, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I am like, that's right.
Yeah.
Don't
And
forget
I'm
that
good.
next time you come here.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Me too. I used to take it as an insult, but I was like, I'm technical, I'm not strong. But now I'm just like, yeah, I'm strong.
No, I'm like, I love like smash and
I find it insulting when someone's like, you're skinny. Oh my God. And I'm just like, I'm not fucking skinny. That's like the strong compliment. I'm like, I'm not skinny.
Are you rolling with bigger
Always,
guys,
always.
women
Yeah.
and guys? I mean,
Not really
Maybe
women.
men.
Yeah,
Men.
but men.
even at your own school, do you roll with your students and
only
they're
guys,
bigger? Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
guys.
All guys, yeah. But the smallest one and my preferred, I said this before, like my preferred training partner or male, like counterpart would be 150 to 160 pounds. That's like
Okay.
ideal for me. But
Okay.
I can't find anything smaller than that.
Yeah.
And then girls, it's just hard to find other girls
Yeah.
to train with, higher level girls. You know,
Yeah.
it's just hard.
Do you guys
Train?
roll together? Will you guys
Yeah.
roll together?
He
We get
hasn't,
domestic.
yeah, and he hasn't in a while because of his
What does
knee.
that mean?
It
What
gets
does that
like-
mean?
People get
Yeah.
scared, like on
Yeah.
the mat. They're just like, "Are you guys fighting?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, we're good. And they're just like, oh, like, or we'll roll, and everyone's like, are we witnessing like
It's war.
Like, should we
Yeah.
call
Because she's
someone
actually
right
good.
now?
What people who don't know jiu-jitsu don't understand. I'm like, she's good. Like,
Yeah.
don't matter how much stronger than obviously it plays a factor, but if I'm slipping, she
Yeah.
catch me slipping.
Even
man.
yesterday
Yeah.
when he was practicing everything on me while he's learning everything, I'm like, in my
She's
head,
thinking defense.
how to defense. So I'm like, oh, instead of wrapping from out here, I should be bringing my hand on. And he's like, why are you resisting? I'm like, because I'm not gonna let you choke me out tomorrow. Because he was like, this
Which
is
will
how
happen
You're,
tonight.
you're figuring
tonight.
out yours to the other side of it.
He's over here like because he's setting up for tonight's training, tonight's Pohada training. So he's like, I'm gonna grab
Pohada
everyone's
training,
back.
huh?
He's out
Yeah.
because Friday
we
night.
warm up and roll.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna grab everyone's back and finish everyone, including you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like while he's sitting there, I was like, you ain't gonna catch me slipping.
That was last
So
night. That's
yeah.
what we do it
So
Thursdays.
that's what we did. Yeah, that was last
We do
night.
regular training Monday to Wednesday, open mat on Thursday, because a lot of people don't come on the weekends, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
especially like the younger, like the kids. We
That
have a lot
no
of
gi?
like 16-year-olds.
That no
So
gi?
we do Monday through Thursday is all gi.
Mm-hmm.
Friday and Saturday are no gi, but a little bit more advanced Friday and Saturday. And I told you we do like a lot of half guard and Z guard
Yeah.
and lockdown, full, like we call it folding the leg. I don't know if other people call it something else. So like my coach is constantly figuring out other things. So like our Friday, Saturday training is all Z guard, half guard, lockdown.
Yeah.
It's always that
Different scenarios.
forever.
Yeah, really.
It's just adding on to that. And then like some of the younger guys come in, and we'll even tell them like this isn't a white belt class. Like even if it's a white belt, they need to be around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
like
those
tonight's
2
class.
days are no gi days, and then Sunday is an open mat gi class. So really, I guess Sunday to Thursday is gi. A lot of like it's like Tuesday, Thursday, right? It's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's
Yeah.
usually gi in
Yeah.
most places, and Tuesday. That my first school was like that, but then now we didn't do adults on Friday for the longest time because nobody was showing up. But then as some of us like now there are more purple, brown
Yeah.
belts.
And Nogi's a
We
little
want
hotter right now.
Like he wants something more. Like we need that little extra. Like we can drill the basics, and but you got to feed them. You need to feed us something. Some of that little.
Yeah,
what are
little
they?
razzle
Yeah.
dazzle stuff.
You got to give us a little something
Little
else to keep us a
sprinkle.
little happy
Yeah.
and figuring
Entertained.
things out.
Yeah.
I'm definitely somebody. I watch a lot of stuff. Like if I'm trying to figure something out, or we're doing it in the school, I'll look that up just to
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
play with it a
yeah.
little bit and then get like I want to bring. I want to
Something
trick people.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
Bet you didn't
You're
know
learning
this.
Yeah, legit. It's
Right
always
now,
good.
we'll do the whole month. The entire month of September is 100% closed guard.
Oh,
We're
Good.
working just closed guard. What did we do? Last month was all about movement and back taking. So it was all movement, side guard.
Yeah,
So you had to take the
transitional.
back. It was all like floating on them, knee on bellies, but like at the end of the month, then it was just like now you're getting to the back.
that's good though. You got it like structured each month, dedicated. That's what we
One
like.
full month.
We don't like doing like the whole like 1 week half guard, next week mount. Like we
Yeah.
like sticking
No
to
one
one
retains
position.
anything.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
kind of going like different scenarios just so they have an answer to whatever reaction the
Yeah.
person gives or like the most common reactions, and then showing them how to get to that position versus just starting in side control. We're like, okay, if we're in half guard and we get to side control, we'll give like a little sequence so that
Yeah.
they have closed guard to side control, open guard, and then we'll do, if side control's the month, then we'll do the technique from side control,
Sure.
but kind of show them how to get there. Because, you start off in side control, and now you got a white belt, and he's like, okay, well, how the fuck do I get here? I'm not always going to start off here,
Yeah.
So I like that you do that too. 'Cause
Anytime we've done it where it was like there was a technique for the week. Like for me, I might only go once or twice during the week, but I show up at the open mats and the Friday training, which isn't the same, so I'm not getting that. But now if it's the whole month, I am getting, even if
Yeah.
I'm only training once or twice in those classes. But I get there more, but I love, if my body can hold up, I love the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because again, it's advanced technique on Saturday
belts.
with a little bit of an open mat and then mat.
Are you rolling every session?
On Friday, it's usually 1 full hour of drilling. More like, again, it's usually kind of Z-guard or lockdown stuff. So it's 1 full hour, and then we can roll if we want. But like class is over, you guys can stick around and roll if you want. And then Saturday, it's kind of the same thing. Sunday, it's 2 hours. It's 1 hour of drilling and 1 hour of rolling.
Wow.
And most of the time, we're all dead but after a half
Yeah,
hour.
yeah,
Because like an
yeah.
hour and a half, then it's just like,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
this guy's on the side with this
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
and everybody's dead. So, but I do like that it's like 7 days so that I can.
Do you guys do a lot of specific training? Like, for example,
Positional.
we're teaching attacking from side mount so I'm having the guys do a lot of specific start and side controls. So do you guys do a lot of
so
that?
it'll be like, let's drill this move, and then it usually goes, it'll be like kind of drill, 25%, 50%,
Building
and then he
up.
calls it kill, kill, kill. Then it's just like, now let's get aggressive, you know. And then sometimes it's like 1-on-1 or 2 minutes one guy, 2 minutes the other guy.
Good.
But then it goes up during the class, and then again he has this. My coach has this thing about saying three things 3 times. So it's like water, water, water. Come on, get back on the mat. And then he does kill, and then so he'll go kill, kill, kill.
Oh, that's funny.
And then sometimes he'll be like, hey, well, what are you guys doing? I'll be like, you just said kill, kill, kill. I'm kill, kill, killing, you know. But yeah, so then the last one is almost always kill, kill, kill with getting aggressive, and then like it'll be like be a good partner, let him do the move, but then as we get to kill, 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 it's like resist, 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 and then. I know I didn't always do this, but I absolutely tried to do this now that I try to work in that move of the day into when we roll, you know, into the open
That's
rolling,
like our biggest thing.
which I got, you know, nobody ever like pushed me to do it. Like, I guess like in my first school, we didn't get pushed to do it. In this school, yes, it's just like use the move. Like that move of the day is right there. What are you doing? Do it. I just showed you, you know, so like I absolutely tried to work it in. I'm not always great with it, but you know, I do try to work it in.
It's difficult. Your opponent knows
what you're trying to do.
You just. But you know, but then a lot of times my opponent, they're not thinking that you're going to do it. And you're like, I'm setting you up. I got you. You know. All right. So our very last question. You guys know this one. If you didn't listen to the last episode, you won't know. So we'll ask it again. Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
Negative.
Negative.
No.
You don't watch it either?
Mine looks bad right now.
Yeah.
We said that. No.
Yeah.
It gives it power. No.
Yeah.
For real. But I mean, half the time your belt falls off.
But
so
you
it's
can. You can
you
wash
could
it,
wash
bro.
it,
You
but-
can wash it.
I've heard that excuse. There's still shit all over the mat. It's still picking up stuff from the mat. But do you spray it? Do you put it out in the sun? Like, give me some of it. Give me
Just call
something.
me a
You do
papa
something.
sucia. Just call me a papa sucia right now. Like this.
My
that's
belt's
like
petrified.
bro. No.
I can see, like, I guess I'm thinking about it as I get closer to black belt. I'm like, okay, I want to have that belt that my coach gives me for a really long time, or you will have it. So you've got to be careful. Like, if you wash it, it's gonna fade and degrade faster. You know, like I have 2 brown. Like I've never thought about it, but I have 2. Wagner told me this. He was like, when I asked him the question, we were right next to each other in the old studio. I thought he wanted to kill me when I told him that I washed my belt. He looked at me like,
you mother.
he's like.
He probably got his chair moved down. Like
He was like, but his thing was, and it was probably the most, I understood it from a coach's perspective. This was probably the best answer that we got, which was, if you wash it, you're making it look faded, and your coach thinks that you've been working harder, like you've trained more. So he said, but I'm like, you know what? The school that I'm in, my coach knows me. Like it's not like we're not in a room full of 200 people where he doesn't know, or he's not the coach. Like my coach is the coach. He knows when I'm there and when I'm not. And actually, we just started like the little iPad, so like now, so like he knows when I'm there. But I've always had. I actually was just, as I was unpacking the other day, except for white, every belt I have 2 belts. So like I have 2 blue, 2 purple. Like I've always had 2 belts, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. But I always got the one that I coach gave me, and then like we work with Flow and Roll. Like he sent me a belt, or Dom, the DOM, used to make a really good belt. It was really fat and thicker, and it didn't untie as much.
Yeah, the geese too. Yeah.
I don't even know if they're still around. Those belts, my coach told me, like he gave me one. He's like, look, if you want a really good belt, get a Dom belt. Like, so he told me to get a belt. So I was always had the 2. So I never thought about it. Like I wore my one last night. It's like way brighter than the other one that I was wearing, you know? So I never, until he said that was like a good answer. Like, oh, you're trying to be tricky and trick your coach. Like, oh, watch it a lot. It looks like I've been training more than I have. Wow. But I get like, we have a decent sized school, but small enough that my coach knows when I'm there, when I'm not there. So I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. I just don't want to be dirty.
Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. The Jiu-Jitsu Dummies would like to congratulate Neutral Zone Clean on the release of their newest product, a healthy and pH-balanced bar soap that's perfect for anyone looking to take care of their skin. This soap is made with all natural ingredients that help nourish and restore your skin's natural barrier. It contains glycerin, which naturally attracts moisture to itself in the skin, leaving it feeling soft and hydrated. The new bar soap also contains a blend of olive, coconut, and castor oils and shea butter, which are rich in vitamins, nutrients, essential fatty acids, and antioxidants that help fight harmful bacteria. With tea tree and other natural ingredients, it also helps in the prevention of fungal infections. Not only is it effective, but it also leaves your skin feeling fresh and lightly scented. It's gentle enough for even the most sensitive skin, making it a perfect choice for the whole family. Be sure to check out their website, neutralzoneclean.com, for a range of all-natural products including sprays, wipes, and shower gels, and use code JJD for 15% off your order. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
I don't know, but you guys like to be dirty. That's okay.
That's what I said. Just call me a
I
punk.
won't even, that's the only black belt I wear.
Actually, yeah, he has only one, so you could call him.
I get, and
got like
probably,
5.
I would probably still have another belt because I would like get my belt, and I know like I would like, hey, Flow and Roll, give me one, put my name on it, like sitting like he does the embroidered belt, so like I know I probably have that. But again, I think like I don't want it to like you're gonna have that one. I mean, I don't know. At my age, I don't see myself. I'm gonna have to be really old to get like the next color belt. Like it's just gonna be this one's gonna be the one with the stripes on it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't see myself like graduate. Like I would love to have that belt for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like put it in my grave. Put it when you bury me.
So funny.
Or burn me. Whatever you do with me, bury me at sea. Whatever. Just make sure I have my belt with me.
I got like
You know,
5 black belts. Now that you said that, I'm thinking, I'm like, God damn, you only have one. I have like
Well,
5.
I have a couple.
You don't have 5 belts. You don't have 5 belts. You have 5 dirty belts.
Now, if I'm swapping them off, then not really.
Yeah, she literally hasn't washed any of them.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
What do I look like?
So
A clean belt washer.
I'm gonna let you take this with you today. I'm gonna let you take this with you. We're gonna do some Neutrozone spray.
funny.
It says body spray. You could spray for real. It's like this is better than Lysol. You just spray it on there, spray on your belt, so you could take that with you.
Thank you.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
And that mug is there for you guys too. I took it out of the box, so we put it on the set. That Black Belt Digital Marketing mug is yours. I'll give you the box for it again. Any shout outs you guys want to make? Say hello to anybody. Let's make sure we tell everybody where the gym is, first of all.
Okay. We are located in the heart of downtown West Palm Beach, 435 6th Street, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401. Come check us out. Follow us on Instagram at The People's Jiu-Jitsu.
Sponsors, anybody you want to shout out?
She already
Say
shout
hello?
out Gina and Byron, Laverne, Tommy Floyd,
BJJTs, Nicholas
BJJTs.
Mitria. You guys are awesome.
our father-in-law.
Yeah,
Junior.
my dad, Junior. Always the best.
Love you.
All right. There you go. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming on again. Check us out at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support the show. You can check out my personal IG. I am Uncle Milty BJJ on Instagram. And Bo, what do you got? We're still doing Handy Wisdom. He does this little cool. He's got like a talking hand with glasses, and he does like these funny little skits. It's at Handy_Wisdom. Yeah, check it
I'm gonna
out.
follow you right now.
And thank you for watching and listening, everybody. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.
Thank you.
Us.
Us.
Woo.